Ecological issues, they affect us all. And so, tonight on Second Nature, we'll be recycling some old nature footage.
Next thing you'll know, you'll be talking about how all of us eat watermelon.
Hold on, G-Man. Vaughn, I need to ask this question.
I eat watermelon more than you do.
I need to ask this question, Vaughn.
And fried chicken, by the way.
You said earlier that this been playing on my mind, Vaughn.
Yourself, man.
G-Man, hold on. This has been playing on my mind, Vaughn. You said
bang, let's start the fucking show, eh?
You're going to jail.
I will never leave YouTube.
I don't give a fuck about the fucking law. I'll beat your ass.
Don't come to my channel again. You will be banned.
I'll beat your ass.
You officially entered the wet panty zone.
Folks, thank you for joining me once again on a Monday. There's literally so much content coming out. This year, it's like the lull season hasn't really stopped. I think this is one of those rare years. It's like a double cropper. It's a double harvest. You're going to fill your silos this year, folks. Oh my goodness, it just keeps going and going and going as we speak. I was going to do this. I was thinking, I'll push it down maybe 10:30, do it a little earlier since it's a Monday night. And then I see, as we speak, GTV is going live, and he is inviting Von Helton in for another little sit-down to work out their differences. So we're going to let them, it's kind of like watching, we have to step back sometimes, right? You got to let cows have their time. This is an intimate interaction. We got to be like David Attenborough or some shit and just sit back and watch from afar and be the observer. It's like trying to get pandas to mate. You don't want to jinx it. So I'm sure shenanigans will come out of that. So we're going to let them get started. And then we're going to check in. Because it's interesting, because I was actually going to cover the whole G-Man and Von Helton the last time they sat down, which I'm sure most of you know about. I saw a bit of it. I haven't got to watch it through it all, so I wanted to share that. And plus, we're going to watch Von Helton make the case that Hitler wasn't such a bad guy. It wasn't really all his fault. I shit you not. So that's interesting they're going to do that. So we're going to check in a few minutes on that. Folks, we got some Rev and Shanny shit to touch on. Just a little bit. Just a touch. Just a taste. This is like a mini compacted Weirdo Wonderland. We're just going to get right to it. And, of course, we got to pick it up. The emo stuff this morning was absolutely stellar, folks. Unfortunately, my first stream got taken down because someone porn-bombed emo in the video that I was reviewing. Emo's video's still up, but mine got taken down. I didn't get a strike or anything. I don't know. I might see if they just let me edit that part out and put it back up like they did the other video. But but I still got the videos, so I mean, we may have to take a look at that as well. But we got some rage coming up. We got butthurt. We got tears, folks. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna, like I said, we're gonna let them get started. I'm gonna check in on them in a moment. But first things first. I got one hiney left from last week. Please get your drinks, snacks, whatever you have to do, folks. Get comfortable. Oh yeah, just right. Just right, folks. I am so excited. I'm actually anxious to watch this shit. I want to get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Let's do it. Oh yeah. That's a good catch, folks. I was testing you all. I wanted to test my alert system. You all passed. Thank you very much. This was a test, folks, in the event of a real emergency. Anyways. Let's rewind. Let's start it again, folks. This is, we are setting the tone for the rest of the evening, starting now. Oh, yeah.
Can you remember my name as I flow through your life? 1,000 oceans I have flown, oh, and cold spirits of ice. All my life I am the echo of your past. I am returning, the echo of a point in time. A distant face it shines. 1,000 warriors I have known, oh, and laughed as the spirits appear. Oh, your light, shadows of another day. And if you hear me talking on the wind, you got to understand we must remain perfect strangers. I know I must remain inside this well of silent sorrow. And I fucked that up, that's okay. Hey, we're just having fun. I'll fix it later. A strand of silver hanging through the sky, touching more than you see. The voice of ages in your mind. Oh, it's cake at the dead of your life. Precious life, your tears are lost in falling rain. And if you hear me talking on the wind, you must understand we must remain perfect strangers. I wonder if I should just leave it in. Robert Plant says just leave it in. So maybe I should. Just leave it in. You ever heard that? Yeah, Robert Plant says that. He says, oh, just leave it in. There's some trivia for you. Those of you that like trivia. Trivia! Y'all don't know what trivia is, do you? Even know what trivia is? Can you tell me what laughter is? Do you hear laughter? What song is that from, guys? A little trivia for you while you're listening to karaoke. I hope you got this tape. I don't want to do this shit. One time's enough, right guys? Yes. One time is enough. But hey, we're having fun, right? That's the plan. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah, they should be sued, and trust me, there are people who... Never mind. There's a lot of pro bono lawyers, let's just say that.
What the fuck?
A lot of pro bono lawyers.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Hey folks, it's your friendly Reverend Dude individual with that Revelation News organization. And, well, I'm kind of in need right at this particular moment. Because what I am is I'm a chain smoker. So my problem is now I have no income right now. And people keep saying get a job. Well, it's kind of hard in COVID getting a job right now. I live in an area that, like, it's wall-to-wall old folks and younger folks that, you know, they take up the jobs pretty quick in the area I'm at. But I'm probably going to be working at a dispensary because I pretty much have an offer to work there pretty much. So I just need to get the card, and it takes time, you know. But I need $8, man. Could somebody be cool for a cigarette fund for Reverend Dude that's a chain smoker? Because I've been feeling like, man, I just found one in the can, and I was like, praise Jesus. I kept it at the side there for a while and didn't smoke it, but I just got finished with it. So I'm a little bit better right now, but like I was like shaking. It's bad, man. You know, it sucks. I hate it. So if you could cash at me, it's the $ Revelation News, okay? #Revelation News. Could you cash at me $8? All I need is $8 is to get a pack of cigarettes, just $8. Like, that's with the tax, because I'm getting the cheapest ones I could get, aside from Pyramid, which makes me, like, really gag. Those things are rough. You know what I mean? I'm smoking Eagle 20s now. Like, it's $6.80 a pack. That's the cheapest I could get. And then you add in the tax, it's around $7.80 when you get done with the tax. It's around that. So I need $8 for a pack of cigarettes, if you could help me out with that. So it's Cash App, hashtag, I love you too. It's hashtag Revelation News, just $8. And you're helping a reverend get his nicotine for the Parkinson-y type situation. I got shake deals, and it sucks, you know, and that helps, but just help an individual out. I had something else I was going to talk about, but it's eluding me right now. Could you help a brother out? Jesus bless you. So I guess you can continue recording after this bullshit. I don't know. I don't know if that just destroyed my video. I started over again. Probably did, because what a piece of shit phone I have. So if all of that video's gone, I have to start over again. So, yeah, this video's for Jules. Jules Tells All, I want to thank you for the money that you sent, because you're a compassionate individual. When I make a video about needing $8 for a pack of fucking cigarettes, and when I've helped the community out, and everybody knows I've helped people, the dog shit, piece of shit, asshole comments I get on my fucking videos when I help this community out, you can all fucking be buried and die. How's that? Because I was charitable always with folks when I had money. And so is Shanny. And I need a little help for fucking a couple fucking cigarettes. And the shit I get. It's disgusting, despicable horse shit. But I want to thank Jules, and this rant is brought to you today by the Reverend Dude, courtesy of Revelation News. You understand? And I'm just saying this right now, that I appreciate Jules having compassion on an individual. You don't know how bad I was jonesing, man. So this is phenomenal, and you helped me massively. So thank you. But I'm going to tell you something. It's like there's no breaks, man. And people came to me so much. I need this, I need that. And I was there, man. I did it, you know. I helped. And to get this fucking shit of just get a job, get a job. No shit, get a job. I'm not stupid. I know I have to get a job. I have to sort these things out, though. It just doesn't happen like that. Everybody's telling me drive Uber, drive this, drive Grubhub, drive that. What if I don't want to drive? I mean, this is an amazing car and it's a good thing, and I mean, it is a good idea. But what if I'm not the 24/7 driving type with these fucking face masks? When you're working, you have to use that cunt mask every fucking second you're working. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack for this bullshit. Yeah, I live in the great state of Colorado. It's amazing, great state. But again, I give a shout out and love and coolness to Jules. Man, I appreciate you. But I mean, like, I guess like stoner streams are like technically against TOS of YouTube. Because I was reading TLS, it's like tobacco products are banned, all that. You can't monetize if you're smoking a freaking cigarette. So I mean, a lot of my videos are demonetized, aren't they? That is what it is, and it's okay. But look, I do want to make money, but it's like I'm gonna be demonized every time. I mean, I am demonized for everything now, and it's just since I've been with Shannon. Like, when I was in Prophecy, I got along with everybody in Prophecy, man. Steve Quayle called me up like a dad the one time on the phone. Steve Quayle, he calls me up and he's like, yeah, you better get your money out of the stock market and put it in gold and buy it off of Only Me. And yeah, I had that talk with Steve Quayle. If you don't know who Steve Quayle is, Jules, look him up. He's a big conspiracy guy. And we were friends. I'm friends with Doug Hagman. I know Gary Stearman. I'm friends with Trey Smith, the guy that did the Theory of Everything video. And he's huge on YouTube, Trey Smith, God in a Nutshell Project. I'm personal friends with him. I mean, I got along with people. A cool lighter. Clippers are the shit, man, because they give you a roller in there too that sticks in the top of it, and you got a lighter with a roller. It's real nice. Clipper lighters. I got a gold one. I love it. But the point is here that are we allowed to have any success? Are we allowed to? Like, that's the question here. Are we allowed to have success? Because every single thing that we do is painted as a negative thing. It's very triggering and horrible to live like that. Oh, your keys are missing. No, you're lying. Oh, you need money. No, you're lying. You're just scamming people. Like, do you realize what it's like to live like that? Where everything you do is scrutinized and picked apart, and this is a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, this is a lie. Everything in your life is a fucking lie. Do you realize how bad it is to live that fucking existence?
I wonder if Rev ever read the story of the little boy who cries wolf. I just wonder if he's, I don't know.
Because that's the life of a celebrity. A lot of these celebrities live that. They say, well, I gave money to St. Jude's because I support St. Jude's and I love St. Jude's and I want to take care of kids with cancer. And then the same person is told, no, you didn't do that for that reason. You did that for clout. You did that to make people think you're a good person. Like Jeffree Star does tons of fucking charity. And he's canceled. Why is Jeffree Star canceled? Well, because he's weird or something. No, what I hear of Jeffree Star, he's a very charitable individual. He's different. And he's very rich. And the rich are demonized too. You know, me and my wife, they made a big deal out of me being a millionaire, which was never true. That was never true. My net worth was approaching $1 million with my inheritance, and then I kept the money and grew it myself after my mother's death. You want to tell me I haven't earned money myself? You're fucking full of shit. I kept the money in the investment account and I made money myself. And then I gained a family. And when you're taking care of 2 kids as opposed to a bachelor, me alone, and I got with Shanny, and then I inherit a family, and then you lose your money. Because kids eat your money up.
Yeah, because they spent it all on the kids. It wasn't like, I agree, relationships can eat a lot of money, especially when you're like battling charges in court to do with domestic violence or hit and runs or, I think maybe lawyer fees might have chipped away at some of that money. Maybe eating fucking takeout every day. I mean, look, folks. How many... Let's talk pure fucking poundage. How many pounds... let's just be honest. How many pounds of food do you think it takes to sustain Shanny? And they ain't cooking it. I mean, it's enough that the scraps feed the children. We know that for a fact, right? Folks, I think we know this story, okay? So let's move... I want to move ahead to the newest developments. Now, as most of you know from the news, there's unfortunately been another shooting in Boulder, Colorado, sorry. And Shanny and Rev waste no time exploiting this to make a point that they are God's anointed, and anybody who touches them is subject to God's wrath and death. This is reminiscent of when Shanny, who now denies us, of laughing about a certain someone's death before. There, of course, were some tweets that were shared around. But I think let's let them do the talking. This is another Rev video, folks. Thank you for joining me. I'm not sure what's going on over on GMANs. I was checking in. He's just playing a bunch of promo stuff at the beginning. So we'll check into that here in a minute, folks. Thanks for joining me. Please thumbs up the video. You know the drill. Let's keep moving forward here. So we'll skip up.
So there was a little bit of how you could say action on the Twitter side today, with some individuals talking to my wife that they think they're really smart. So what happened? If you want to know, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing all right. And brightness is like crazy, man. Hang on. That's better. It's like lighting up my face like crazy. Anyway.
I think Dragnot has brought this up on a different video, but that's still, the point is still the same. Like, they invest all this money into their so-called YouTube career. They buy different cameras with different features, and they have an array of microphones to choose from, and they have that one of those ring lights, so they look all pretty because I've seen it in the reflection before. But then they constantly make content like this. Like my webcam, my Microsoft fucking Studio Pro webcam that I bought at Best Buy back in 2011 or 12 or some shit, is clearer than this fucking shit. This guy's putting out that he has spent umpteen money. Like, I'm using my webcam microphone. He's using some like third-party fucking whatever he spent for that microphone, right? It boggles me. Anyways.
I'll tell you what happened on Twitter, okay? So we made quite a discovery that it turns out that one of the police officers that died in the shooting in Boulder. I'm crackly. Let's see. Whoa.
Now, to be fair, I do think he has some kind of filter on to make it look all grainy.
Thanks for telling me.
At least I think he does.
I know what that is. StreamYard sucks. I don't like StreamYard, and I'm not going to use it again. I know what it is. Let's see. That one. Okay. Okay, I think that's going to be much better because StreamYard sucks. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I think that's going to be much better. I sound like a chipmunk, too. No, my mic's being messed with by somebody because I sound like a chipmunk, too. I sound like a fucking chipmunk. This has never happened to my audio ever before. Wow. That's really weird. That's so weird. Okay. Let's see. Test, test, test. Okay. No. My audio sounds like a fucking chipmunk. Like something's wrong. Yeah, somebody's messing with my shit. I know how these things work, man. All right, fine. Then I'll just do... I'll do that microphone. I mean, I'm this has never happened before. Like, I think I'm being hacked or something. I've never seen anything like this before. Like, I think I'm being hacked or something. I've never seen anything like this before. Okay, you can at least hear me now without chipmunk effect and bullshit. Okay, so I'm gonna make this very clear to Christians, because that's what I'm doing this for, is for Christians. Deidre, I mean, her name on Twitter has changed, so it don't even matter. You would know her as the Holy Spackle. Okay. And Shanny, could you please turn down your volume? Because I hear myself upstairs. Thank you. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way, because this is a Bible thing, and I don't want to bore people too much with the Bible. Okay, because I know it's an arcane document to most people that don't even matter for today. So, but if you're going to call yourself a Christian, if you're not going to look at this book as some kind of authority and the God that it talks about, then you're no longer a Christian. Okay? So Deidre was on Twitter, and she said, it turns out that one of the cops from Boulder that was part of our arrest, the guy that actually took me to the cop car, was killed. That's the truth. You can look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. This guy, I saw his picture on the Twitter because Shanny said, "Oh, look I think that's one of the guys that was at the arrest. He died in the shooting." Okay. So my wife commented on it because it's true. This cop is the guy that ran up the walkway and had me walk into the cop car. And it's this guy that was killed. Now,
I just want to put that back for a second, because you can actually see in his eyes the glee as he's getting ready to deliver the news of this man's death, that it was this guy. I want to put it back. Just watch the expression in his face as he approaches the camera telling everybody who this guy is.
My wife commented on it because it's true. This cop is the guy that ran up the walkway.
It's coming.
And had me
look at him
walk into the cop car. And it's this guy that was killed. Now,
He just lit right
There's
up.
a little verse in the Bible that if you don't remember it, it goes a little something like this. Touch not God's anointed. And Shani and I are anointed by Christ. If you like it or not, is not the matter. Okay, you can call us antichrist all day. You can call us demonic. You can call Shani a fake, a Satanist. I've heard it all from everybody. God damn it! And even people that
Mr. Unite for the children donated $5 through Super Chat. Says others aren't real Christians. Next sentence rejoices in a man's death. F you, twit. Go broke forever.
Yeah. Such are the dualities of YouTube Christians, it appears.
I regard it as brothers.
Thank you very much.
I can't even talk to anymore because they have believed these lies that have been put out on the internet. Well, if so many people are saying it, it must be true. That's really dumb thinking. That is literally adopting the same thinking of Joseph Goebbels and the Nazi Party. If you repeat something enough, it becomes the truth. Isn't that what Goebbels taught in his book Propaganda? Yes, it is. And these trolls think that if they can repeat something enough times, it becomes true. And it's just not the truth. Okay? If enough people are repeating it, it just means a lot of people are repeating lies. Okay, that's the logical end to Goebbels' thinking. But because he was a delusional Nazi, okay, they utilized that tactic, and it did work against Jews, unfortunately, and we had the Holocaust. But my point is here, my bottom line is that God's justice is just. This guy was engaged in touching God's anointed, and he's dead. Now, do you realize how many times this has happened with Shani?
So basically, the guy was doing his job, arrested Rev because he was guilty, and just happened to be the guy that touched him and walked him to the car, right? Or arrested Shani, or whatever the case may be. And he deserves death. This reminds me of the story in the good book, speaking of the Bible, when they're transporting the ark. And one of the rules is you don't touch the ark. Well, they hit a crux in the road there. They hit, like, I don't know, I can't remember, like a pothole or a crevice. And they lose their grip and the ark starts dumping over. And one of the guys, because it's a sacred object, right, dives over to save the ark, saves the ark, gets struck dead by God. Because you're not supposed to touch the ark. You know?
In particular, there are people in this community that have tried to come after her and take her down for whatever reason they have. And do you know what's happened to these people? They've had heart attacks. They've gone into the hospital with serious conditions. Don't mess with Shani because you're going to see it in your life. Okay, God will slam you if you touch her. Now, I can't give you time periods, but here's the thing. If you repent right now of touching God's anointed, you don't have to worry about it. Jesus has got your back. He's like, okay, you saw you're wrong. Check mark. You're cool. You're repentant. I recommend you do that. The old apartment she lived in Minnesota burned down. I mean, there's so many things that I could tell you that I've seen firsthand happen because there was some involvement with Shani, and God is like, no, this girl's my daughter, and I'm going to protect her. And I'm going to make an example of people that try to mess with her. It's just the truth. And that's what's happened. Now, she was demonized by a person in our community known as the Holy Spackle or Deidre, moderate C word on Twitter. And now she has a completely weird, different name on Twitter. I don't even care. I'd rather not even mention your name because guess what? If you ever were a Christian, which I'm really starting to believe that GMAN is correct and you never were. You have completely eliminated God's justice from the equation of God. If there is no justice when it comes to God, you may as well you may as well throw out this whole book. Because the way I see the Bible and the way the Bible is it's a legal document. This is not just a book. It's a legal binding document that the Creator penned through people through time. Now, but this is also a contract with mankind. This book is a contract. There are promises made in here that if you sign up for it, you're going to be blessed. That's what he says. And it's true because it's true because I can tell you that blessings have come to me. And yeah, I'm in a rough spot now, but I know that Jesus Christ has a way forward because that's always what comes in this book. That's how it is. If you hit a roadblock, then he's got the other road that goes the opposite way a lot of times. That's true too. He can take you in a completely different direction. But the point here of this conversation, because I don't want this to be a 3-hour fucking Bible teaching. Sorry for cussing. I don't want this to be a 3-hour Bible teaching. But I can tell you that if God's justice does not exist,
Melanoma donated $5 through Super Chat.
And I know
God lets them
the
smite
book is
their
not a
enemies,
lie
but not
because I've seen
manage
it
a
work
bank
in my
account.
life.
Sounds
Okay?
like God needs to learn about
Deidre's version of
priorities.
Christianity is literally you can do anything. You can literally do anything in the kingdom of God, and it's fine as long as you're believing in Jesus. And that is a lascivious fake Christ. You are no longer a Christian, and you're into some new age Jesus, because that's not Jesus. Now, if there is no judgment, then Christ's sacrifice is in vain. Because the reason that he had to die, the penalty, was because of a judgment issue. You're trying to eliminate God's place as a judge, Deidre, and it will no longer be tolerated. Because I've seen you preach wrong, bad stuff for years. And many have tried to help you out and say, look, Deidre, if you really are a Christian, it's time for you to stop with this stuff that God is just this. He forgives. And he is a forgiving God, but you have to remember the judgment. If you eliminate the judgment, then the Lord's sacrifice is made vain. God forbid. And there's many Christians that feel that way. God forbid. We will not allow you to preach that heresy. You need to sit down and not preach. If you're going to preach lascivious lies, such as the Savior is fine with everything. This is the same person that used to come at Protestant Christians and tell us how wrong we were all the time. This is the same woman that used to come to Christians and preach the book of James chapter 1 and tell Christians that they had to have good deeds as well as faith. God bless you, Colossus. How you doing? Okay? This is no longer something that can be just ignored by me, the individual here. Because I did an interview with her and stuff back in the day, and I'm always willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. Where did she teach that Christians can do anything? You listen to the way she talks, individual in the room, that you know who you are, and you know this is true. Yeah, and maybe that's okay. You're correcting me in probably a good way. That's a bad way of putting it. She teaches greasy grace, as anybody would say it is. Now Negs wants to fist fight me? What a loser. I'd knock him out in a second. Anyway, he's an old man. I'm still 37. He's like 40-something. Like, I can hit hard and quick. He's out. Anyway, thank you, individual that said that. DS. I'll just say that. Okay, thank you for that, because it is a correction that's accurate. You know, she doesn't say that you can do anything, but she is okay with sin in a lot of ways, and you know that's true, because you know her. She loves you. You know her. So I'm done with enabling somebody teaching falsehood, because I always let this go. I always put this down in the corner. I said to myself, you know, she's a Christian. She's got her own deal of how she wants to present the gospel. Well, you can present the gospel in a way of, hey, I love you. So does Jesus. Why don't you come? Because he loves you. I'm for it.
Dragnoke Silva's donated $5 through Super Chat. Notice he just corrected himself? I called him out for lying on Holy Spackle in his live chat.
Mm-hmm. Very telling, and thank you very much. And thank you to Buck Melanoma. I may have missed it when you donated $5 as well. I was up freshening my drink, actually, but no, very good observation. So I just checked in over on GMAN's. Apparently Vaughn's not there. Solar Marshal has just joined the panel. The round table. Apparently they're reviewing some Von Helton and criticizing him, so it's funny how the scales are always removed from their eyes, right, when they're not getting along. So we'll check in on that in a second, folks. We'll finish this off.
Goddamn internet!
Buck Melanoma donated $2 through Super Chat. Is Rev wearing a Baywatch swimsuit?
Well, I'll let the people decide. That's a very good observation, very astute. Thank you very much once again, Buck Melanoma.
That. What I am not for is saying that God is, he's God, whatever, and there's...
No, you're for, but he's for reveling in people's death. And actually using the Bible to fucking rationalize it. That's all right.
Yeah, judgment's bad, man. Look at the, I don't really like the Old Testament God, because he's really judgmental and he does mean things to people. That's Deidre. And you know that's true, dude that said that. You know that's true. That it's like, it's just stupidity, man. It's like, if you're going to be a Christian, then take the book and believe the book. DS, you damn well know that Deidre would come in rooms and she'd say, oh, I don't really like the flood. I don't really like that Old Testament mean stuff. That's not the God that you worship then. I mean, if you're going to eliminate the judgment that takes place in this book and you're going to say, I don't really agree with that, then you're not a Christian. Okay, let's just make it clear. Okay, but this is the same person that was trying to be high and mighty to other Christians in preaching the book of James chapter 1, where it says that if you are not doing works, then you have a false religion. Like, you can't do that in the same thing. You can't point at me and say you don't have work, so you're not a Christian, and then say at the same time that God's judgment is so horrible, and oh my God, how dare he kill all those people in the Old Testament and have all these laws and stuff. You don't worship Jesus, because Jesus gave the Jews those laws. Jesus gave the Jews those methods. And the God of Israel, which is Yeshua, it's Jesus in the flesh. He's the Father in the flesh. He is the God of Israel in the flesh. He made the laws that Moses got. He got the 10 Commandments, which are law, justice. This is a book of justice. Why do you think they have it in a courtroom? When you go to a courtroom, they put the book in front of you. You swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God. Yeah, I do. So help me God. I will tell the truth. You want to know the truth? Deidre's a fake Christian. Suck on that.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Do you like eating chicken? Do you like eating butthole? Then bring your happy ass to Clancy's Fried Chicken Butthole Emporium Unlimited. Yeehaw!
100% chicken butthole.
Woo. That's right, folks. We got big chicken buttholes, little chicken buttholes, moist chicken buttholes, and coming soon to the chicken butthole family, Beef Jerky. We got buttholes so good you'll be licking that shit right off your damn fingers. Woo! Clancy's Fried Chicken Butthole Emporium Unlimited. Come get your butthole. Yeehaw!
I will never stop playing Fat Photog videos. I'm just gonna keep playing them until there's new ones. So we're glad to have you back. So let's check in over at G-Rocks and see what's cooking on the grill. So I backed it up a little bit. We'll see if it's any good. So he's watching Von Helton, critiquing him on slavery. So let's do it.
And how are they going to arrange that? I mean, how are they going to arrange it today? You know, with reparations. I mean, oh, gosh, it's ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead and play the video. I want to hear some more of this stupidity. Go ahead.
But anyway. Let's see here. Here's another one.
Oh, there's another book you never read. Okay, here we go.
Slave Life in Georgia. Yeah, we get into Georgia here in a few minutes.
See, just wanted to point it out. He's finding random books with this under the same category, none of which he's read. Okay, he said 90%. Where did he get that information? How come he doesn't share it?
And just like
he's getting that from the ad at the top of the screen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carnivores.
Sorry, he's getting that from the ad at the top of the screen. That's the only way. That's the only area 90% ever comes up.
Yep. So I want to know where.
Isn't it interesting how they can recognize, right, the flaws in Von Helton's arguments when they don't agree with him? I just always find that interesting.
He's getting his information from if he's never read the book, and did he test whether or not the person who's actually writing the book has any actual credibility? You know what I mean? He just say, "Oh, look at this book and look at this book, look at this book." Vaughn, I can do the same thing, man. I can go on Amazon and talk about how I can stone pagans, how pagans should have no rights in America, how pagans are devil worshippers. Should I go on here and say that all these books are right? And by the way, I never read these books either. Like, honestly, come on, man. Hey, go ahead, back. Or Carnivorous April.
We're going to get to Georgia here in a few minutes. Yes, we are. So you're right, G-Man. I was wrong. It wasn't 51%. That was Maryland. And by the way, Maryland wasn't included in the Emancipation Proclamation because it was technically a northern.
I'm the dummy that got on here and said that Colorado was in the West Coast. You know what I mean? I'm the dummy who actually said that, right? So my geology is not all that great and whatnot, right? Is Maryland in the South? I'm just curious.
No, technically
Anybody?
Maryland would have been
Is Maryland in the South?
Geology? I just wanted to point that out real quick.
Anybody?
No, Maryland was a northern state.
Right. It was a northern state, right? So if we're talking about the South, he has to bring up the southern states, right?
Yes.
So Von Helton is talking about Maryland, and we're talking about the South. That's why I said I'm going to be very specific about what I was talking about. I said that I disagree with Von, that he said 51% of the slave owners in the South were the one. I'm sorry, 51% of the slave owners in the South were black. That's the claim that he made. That is ridiculous. How you doing, Gary, from Sharpening Sword? We got this guy named Von Helton.
Right, shalom, everybody.
Yeah, he usually comes on this show, and we usually agree on a lot of things. But on this particular occasion, this guy had the nerve to try to sit here and say, in the South of all places, that of all the slave owners that was in the South, most of them were black, according to him. And now he's saying it's not even 51%. He said it was 90%. And that's
I can believe a person like him said that. It doesn't make it true.
Exactly. It's just stupid. First of all, everyone in the not in the universe, everyone in the United States universally disagrees with him. Just about everybody. There's only two people that argue this way. One of them is Von Helton, and the other one is the other person that agrees. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. But Von Helton's crazy. Oh, that's you, Jesus is Lord. Vacco, can you confirm that this is Jill? Vacco. All right, Jill. I'm gonna bring
yeah, I can't tell. It's usually Jesus is Lord, not Jill. But yeah.
How you doing, Jesus is Lord? Is that you?
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, that's
yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, just a few things here. 90%. I was laughing so hard at that I had to join in and chime in if I can. He's referring to the free blacks in the antebellum during the antebellum period. Very few owned slaves. They purchased slaves, as the scripture says. You can purchase them in order to free them or to provide them with their freedom. So they didn't purchase them to treat them as they were treated under the slaveholders that they were under in the antebellum South. Yeah, so black property owners also voted, and a few number, not 90%, where he's getting 90% from, actually owned slaves. Again, the slaves were purchased. Many of them were relatives whom they later manumitted or let go or let free. There were a few free blacks who also owned slave-holding plantations in Louisiana, Virginia, and South Carolina.
90%?
Not 90%. No, I don't know
50%?
where he's getting. And Maryland.
90% on textbooks up there.
Goddamn internet!
I'm sorry, Wilson donated $2 through Super Chat. Vaughn had the audacity to make that claim.
Indeed he did. Thank you very much, Wilson.
Oh, no. He's not going to open up a book and find that anywhere. And the also, Baltimore was a major slave hub. People think of the South, south of Virginia. No, the South was Baltimore and down. So Baltimore, if you look up Baltimore, the Baltimore Sun reports on the history of Baltimore. It was a major slavery hub where slaves were held and plantations were as well. So Maryland was considered the South, oddly enough, but it's not now.
Okay. All right. So let's play the video and listen to some more of Von Helton's lunacy.
State. Chew on that one, G-Man. But now let's go on, because I'm going to read about Georgia right now, G-Man. All right, let me move this over here a little bit, because y'all can't see what the heck I'm talking about here. Okay, and then we will move this down a little bit. So yeah, so you can read it along with me. All right. Although slavery played a dominant economic and political role in Georgia, most white Georgians, listen, most white Georgians did not claim people as property. Let me say that again. Although slavery played a dominant economic and political role in Georgia, most white Georgians did not claim people as property. Well, gee, if it wasn't the white folk, who the hell was it, gee?
See, now he's already making a mistake right here. We already see what he's about to do, right? He's about to see. It clearly says that most white Georgians did not claim people as property. Okay, fine, according to this text. But he's gonna make a fallacy and say, well, just so because it says most white people did not own people as slavery, therefore it was other people that owned people as slavery. You see, right. And that's the fallacy on it that he's about to make. I guarantee he's going to make it.
Man, oh, we're getting there. In 1860, less than one third of Georgia's adult white male population of 132,317 were slaveholders. The percentage of free families holding people in slavery was somewhat higher, 37%. 37%. Certainly not 5%, caveman. But still, well, or carnivorous ape, I mean. But still, well short of majority. The percentage, still short of majority.
Mute. Go ahead, carnivorous.
Oh, no, I said apparently I'm caveman now.
Well, that's what he called you. So anyway, does anybody know what he's reading? Because this looks like Wikipedia. Anybody? Does anybody here knows what he's reading?
I don't know, honestly. I couldn't find that link.
Yeah. So Von Helton, if you're watching this, I would strongly recommend you let everybody know what you're reading, because if this is Wikipedia, this stuff can be changed. It can be tampered with. We would like to know who is the historian you're listening to. We would like all of those facts. You going to a website and actually reading it and not giving us any background don't help anybody here, my friend. You can go to a white supremacist page and actually read something, and and it could be just put there. You know what I mean? To try to take the blame off of Caucasians for what they did in this country and to put it on black people. State your sources. Yeah, that.
Hold on, I want to say something real quick. I just kind of reiterate on the fallacy that he's making here. You can go ahead and read the rest of what he's got on the screen here. It says nothing about, at least I don't see anything about the majority of slave owners being black or non-white. All he's reading is that not all slave owners were white, or not all white people owned slaves. That's all we've gotten so far. And and nobody's arguing that. We're arguing the idea that 90% of slave owners were black, which this article is not going to prove. I guarantee it.
And by the way, I do have the Willie Lynch letters we're going to be reading immediately after all of this. So when I think it's appropriate, and when we read these Willie Lynch letters, whether people believe they were real or not, this was the mindset that existed back then. All right, and we're going to figure out who the audience was, because according to Vaughn, these were black people. Stupid. Anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, G-Man, I'm gonna play a little bit longer, then I gotta skedaddle and stuff. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Moreover, only 6,361 of Georgia's 41,000 slaveholders enslaved 20 or more people. The planter elite, who made up just 15% of the state's slave owners' population, were far outnumbered by the 20,077 slaveholders who enslaved fewer than 6 people. In other words, only half of Georgia's slaveholders enslaved more than a handful of people, and Georgia's planters constituted less than 5% of the adult white male population. Okay, so if it wasn't the white folk, who was it?
There's the fallacy.
See, there he is again.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is a fallacy. It's an argument from silence. He's saying, because it only a certain amount of white people own slaves, that must therefore mean the other 95% of people that own slaves were black or non-white.
Black people had a lot of money back then. Wow. I don't know if they got it from
right. It just all the article is saying is that not all white people own slaves. That's all it's saying. So, but that doesn't mean that there was still more white people than black people that own slaves. Black people and white people own slaves. Okay, great. But it was more, the majority of slave owners were white. And maybe it's just not every white person, but all those who did own slaves were white.
Who got on the boat to Africa and brought them here? That's the thing.
Well, there was all kinds of people there, including blacks. But
G-Man, you're echoing.
I don't know why.
That's probably my fault. It's my mic.
All right, good. Play the video.
As it turned out, I'm skipping this middle paragraph here because
No. Read that, Vaughn.
The state legislatures and whatever.
Oh, he reads it here in a minute.
As it turned out, slaveholders expected a largely harmonious relations with the rest of the white population. Well, now wait a minute. If the slave owners were white, why do they need harmonious living with white folk? During the election season, wealthy planters counted non-slaveholding voters by inviting them to celebrations that mixed speech-making with abundant supplies of food and drink. On such occasions, slaveholders shook hands with yeomen and lieutenant farmers as if they were equals. Non-slaveholding whites, for their part, frequently relied upon nearby slaveholders to gin their cotton and assist them in bringing the crop to market. These political and economic interactions were further reinforced by the common racial bond among white Georgia men, sharing the prejudice that slaveholders harbored against African American. Non-slaveholding whites believed the abolition of slavery would destroy their own economic prospects and be catastrophe to the state as a whole. Okay. Now,
Okay, mute Beckel. The Yato God in the live chat brought up a good point, and he's right. He says nobody said that black people didn't own slaves, which is true. Nobody said that. The point is that the majority of the slave owners were white. You understand what I'm saying? That's the argument that I'm making. And what he's also doing, he's moving the goalposts of Von Helden. And he did it quite a few times in the original stream that he didn't point out, where him and Butterfly kept changing the topic over and over and over again. Jim the Pioneer was there when this was actually happening. He's down there in the bottom of the screen. You know what I mean? Where they went from, when we went from talking about who was the majority of the slave owners to talking about genetics and a whole bunch of other stuff that had nothing to do with the South. A Gentleman Pioneer, you're actually there, Gentleman Pioneer.
Well, G-Man, if I may, real quick, I think the point that Butterfly was trying to make was that Vaughn might be accusing those blacks that own slaves of actually being, African Americans that were, brought here, I guess. And I think she was trying to make a distinction between blacks that were enslaved here and different blacks from different parts of the world, like Ethiopians and stuff like that. I think that's what she was trying to do. But one other thing I want to point out too, G-Man, notice how he doesn't want to read the next paragraph, right? Let me just go back a little bit here. And he just skipped it because the next paragraph says, propping up the institution of slavery was a judicial system that denied African Americans the legal rights enjoyed by white Americans. He doesn't want to read that part. And again, there's nothing here that says that the majority of slave owners were black. He's doing it backwards. You're right. He's moving the goalposts. He's playing the argument from silence fallacy. If only 5% of slave owners are white, then where's the other 95%?
I believe.
Hold on. Can I say something?
Yeah.
No matter what we say, no matter what Vaughn said, no matter what anybody say, we got to go by the numbers. And the numbers clearly states that, and they did the census. We're not talking about certain particular states. We're talking about all states in general that was known as in America at that time. And I'm going by the numbers. The white slave owners was 347,523 listed in 1850. 1830 was 393,975 white slave owners. In the 1830s, it was 3,775 slave owners. It can't be. You can't say black slave owners made a majority or 90% because these numbers is clearly stating that it was way more white slave owners than black slave owners. So I don't know where Vaughn getting his numbers from.
Well, you got it from the book that said that 90%. You missed the Gentleman Pioneer where he said that 90% of the slave owners that was in the U.S. During that particular time were black. According to
What year was this? What time was this? What part of the year was this?
I don't know. I was too busy crying over there while I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, he had everybody laughing, man.
All right.
See, that's what
I tell you what, folks, we're going to come back to this, see if it heats up a little bit. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but on the topic, I have much better Von Helden clips for us to get caught up on. So we'll check back in on this this round table, if you will. We'll come back to it, folks. But let's get back to business, folks. Please thumbs up the video. You know the drill. Let's do it.
All right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever the case may be. This is Emo Halliwell. I'm making this video because I didn't like what I heard a little while ago, and this particular individual really pissed me off. He really fucking pissed me off. And I'm going to give him what for in this video, and I'm going to tell him exactly what I think of him and what I think of his fucking opinion. Okay? All right? I happen to be ghosting FTP's room this morning, okay? And we all know that somebody with the name, multiple accounts with the name Dome in it, all this kid knows how to do is steal other people's channels, steal people's monetization, rip people's monetization off, steal people's viewers, He's ripping off my content. He's ripping off Antarctic Chick's content. He's ripping off Brick Productions' content. He's ripping off FTP's content. And he's got several DD channels with other people's names in front of them. So then a discussion came up about a certain site that Chris Powers and Friends and Codes own. I don't want to give the site advertisement because they don't promote me, so I'm not going to promote them, right? So they're talking about, MTG's talking about how he has issues with the site that Chris Powers co-owns, and Chris Powers comes up on the panel and says, I know you disagree with some of the things that Andrew's doing, but he's helping the community. He's giving the community entertainment.
HOODS 360 donated $5 through Super Chat. I must be racist because as a black man I respect secular opinion positions on race more than I do VEKL GMAN or GP.
Well, I do appreciate that, and I appreciate the donation as well. And to be fair, Veckel is probably one of the whitest black people I've ever seen on YouTube, so we got to throw that out there too. So that kind of levels it out. But thanks.
He couldn't do auditing anymore because of his family, so now he had to find something, and now the D Dome is the perfect place where everybody can go and be entertained and have fun, and he can make money. And Andrew's a friend of mine, and I support the Dome. So Chris Powers, you support Andrew stealing my fucking content. You support Andrew stealing my monetization. You support Andrew stealing other people's content and money and food from their mouths. See, you know what, Chris? I'm not a rich ass son of a bitch like you. You're a fucking fat slob that's got all kinds of fucking money falling out of your asshole, and I'm a fucking guy that can barely afford my fucking bills, and you think it's funny that Andrew is stealing my monetization? You think it's funny that Andrew is stealing my content? You support that, Chris Powers? So guess what, Chris Powers? I'm calling you out. That makes you the biggest piece of shit on YouTube this month. Because Andrew can steal your videos, and it doesn't matter. You can still put food on the table because you're a rich, fat, fucking slob. But I can barely afford my fucking bills. I need all the money I can get from my fucking channel, maggot. And you're gonna go on FTPs and say, Andrew's doing a great thing, stealing my content, you fucking maggot! You're a maggot, Chris Powers! You're a goddamn fucking maggot! A fat fucking slob and a fucking maggot! I can barely afford my fucking bills, barely afford to put fucking food on the table, and I'm not making any money on YouTube anymore, hardly any money. I'm not even making a quarter of what I used to make on YouTube because I got this fucking maggot stealing my content all the time, and then you go on FTPs and you say, Andrew's a friend of mine. I support Andrew. Fuck you, Chris Powers. I had respect for you, but now you can take your fucking site and shove it up your ass, along with Friends and Code. Because if that's the trash you're gonna hang out with, I don't need a fucking fake friend like you. I have every right to keep every ounce of my money on YouTube. I don't need a fucking loser stealing my fucking content. And then everybody's okay with it. No, I'm not okay with it. Fuck you, Chris Powers. Fuck you. Well, here we go, guys. Here we go. See this channel right here? Everything nice. See this channel and then he's got Epic Rage by Justin Emo Hallingworth. Okay? This is an exact copy of the video that I just got a strike for. So guess what I'm doing? I'm filling out a strike on you, asshole. Yeah. And look what I put in there. This is a copy of my live stream. My channel got a strike under hate speech for this same video.
Folks, can we just appreciate for a moment the absolute fucking filth and squalor that we see examples of time and time again that this man lives in? He claimed to be a germaphobe. Remember, was it last stream or the stream got taken down? We were watching that clip. This is a man who claims to be a germaphobe. A grown man who sits in his diaper all day. Folks, we gotta get this man some Lysol fucking wipes or something. Like, what? Look at that. This is where the man lives, folks. Alright.
Well, here we go, guys. Here we go. See this channel right here? Everything nice. See this channel and then he's got Epic Rage by Justin Emo Hallingworth. Okay? This is an exact copy of the video that I just got a strike for. So guess what I'm doing? I'm filling out a strike on you, asshole. Yeah. And look what I put in there. This is a copy of my live stream. My channel got a strike under hate speech for this same video. If it's not allowed on my channel, why is it allowed on this channel? Why is this stolen copy allowed on this channel? Also, my content was age restricted. Why isn't this one age restricted as well? And I'm going to send that in, asshole, right now. See, this is why my channel was deliberately targeted. It's the same fucking video. My channel was deliberately targeted so that way I couldn't hit this asshole with a copyright claim. This is also probably the fucking asshole that flagged the fucking live stream to begin with. Because he wanted to get rid of my video so I couldn't counter strike him for this video. Because you can see, because my video was 53 minutes long. This is the same video that I got a strike for, ladies and gentlemen. Same video that I got a strike. So because he wanted to flag my channel down so he could use my content without getting a fucking strike, guess what? I'm going to submit this right now, people. Right now. Okay? Report. Because that's what I reported it for. That's what I reported it for. Stolen copy of my video. If we find out this content violated community guidelines, we will remove it. So, yep, that's what I flagged it for, asshole. Because it's the same fucking video. This is what I mean. These trolls steal my content, put it on their fucking channels, and then they don't get age restricted. Because there's no age restriction on this fucking thing. Oh, I take it back. He age restricted it. Alright. I didn't scroll down to see that. And then he's got my husband's fake channel listed right there. So you know what? Everything nice. This has got to be a Gary channel. This has got to be a fucking Gary channel. So I want to know, Gary, why is it all right to have my video on your channel, but my fucking channel gets a strike?
Damn internet! I'm
It's the same
sorry,
fucking
Wilson
video.
donated $5 through Super Chat. EMO is going to be part of Shani and REV's class action lawsuit against YouTube and Google. We're all doomed. All hard drives to Lake Alice.
True that. True that. We gotta be on our toes, people. They're getting their shit together. Thank you very much.
Guaranteed. It's the same fucking video. This is what I'm saying. And then you wonder why EMO gets so fucking angry. Because you motherfucking F-God trolls, you don't play fair. And then he puts up this video, and he knows he can't get a strike for it now because my copy of the video is gone. That's right. Uncalled for, ladies and gentlemen. Uncalled for. See, I knew this is why my channel was flagged. It was flagged so this video can stay up here on this guy's channel in its entirety, but my video gets taken down. Everybody needs to flag this fucking video down right fucking now. Because if I'm not allowed to have this content on this channel, if I'm not allowed to have that content on my channel, if you motherfucker are not going to have that content on your channel, and this fucking moron better hope I never find out who he is, because you know what I'll do to him.
What?
And we'll leave it at that before it gets turned into a threat. I'm pissed off. My videos always get age restricted. My videos always get taken down. But then the fucking MAGA trolls get to keep their copies, stolen copies of my videos on their fucking channels. I'm fucking tired of it.
All right, folks.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Next day,
all right, so just before we get deep into this, folks, I think it's important that we bring somebody in that might have a little more perspective on this, if you know what I'm saying. Folks, let's see what Mike Nelson has to say about it.
Hi everyone, it's Michael. This is the spare room that I sleep in because, you know, I just can't deal with fucking Schemo anymore. He's just fucking gross and disgusting. He's not showering. He's sitting in his swampy diapers all fucking day and night now. He doesn't even change. And he's showing everyone his medical records and brought up that venereal disease again, you know, which I don't like to talk about. It's disgusting, and I just part of our relationship I don't want to express on. So, you know, it's just fucking gross. So yeah, I'm sleeping in here. It's not as nice as the rest of the house, as you guys see in the kitchen. So, but it's my little sanctuary away from fucking Schemo and his yelling and bullshit. I can still hear him through the fucking walls, but this is where I'm at right now. So, talk to you later.
Folks, will you please support Mike Nelson? Go over and actually, oops, what the hell am I doing?
I just wanted to say that, you know...
That's not what we wanted, folks. That was the wrong video.
Oh, hi everyone, it's Michael.
Get it? See what I did there? Alright. Let me share that with the masses. Please go and thumbs up this bad boy. I think right now, with the tension in the Nelson household, he can use all the support he can get, folks. Let's pull together and show a little love. All right, let's change some gears here. Let's get back into Von Helton. Building up to what the display you're seeing tonight, the events that happened over the weekend. Folks, thanks for joining me. Please thumbs up the video. Yeah, I don't have to say that all the time. Let's do it.
You know, you'll be talking about how all of us eat watermelon.
Hold on, G-Man. Vaughn, I need to ask this question.
I eat watermelon more than you do.
I need to ask this question, Vaughn.
And fried chicken, by the way.
You said earlier that this been playing on my mind, Vaughn.
Yourself, man.
G-Man, hold on. This has been playing on my mind, Vaughn. You said...
I'm here to talk about the neo-Nazi. All right. Are the neo-Nazis wrong on a great many things? Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Are they right on some things? Yep, sure are. Am I going to run him off YouTube? Nope. There was a time when I was in some deep shit. And I don't know, maybe the neo-Nazi just happened to think I was cool or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But he came to my aid. And it's a damn good thing, too, or I probably wouldn't be talking right now. So no, I won't be running them off, despite their faults, despite their disagreements, despite their obvious racial overtones. No, sorry, won't run him off of YouTube. And I might add, when I needed to go south to the border to take care of some serious stuff, it was the neo-Nazis that first volunteered to go. Everybody else hid under their damn desk. Now that is a stark comment towards the rest of us out there in America. But yeah, it was the neo-Nazis that volunteered to go. Nobody else would. But they would. So no, I guess I won't. But you know, do they have problems? Oh yeah. But you know what? That's where good old facts come in. You know, just hit them with the facts. That's the best way to handle the Nazis. Get them squared away. Do they hate homosexuality? Yep, they sure do, with a passion. But no, I won't be running him off. I might get into a serious debate with him concerning racism, because that's what's needed. But run him off YouTube? No, can't do it. Can't do it, man. It was a neo-Nazi that's literally saved my bacon. So no. As for the Nazis and patriotism, well, you know, they're not socialist. I was shocked to learn that many neo-Nazis are not socialist at all. They're not for big government at all. In fact, they think the government is corrupt. Hell, they think the government's more corrupt than I do. So, you know, that was a shocker to me, because I was thinking neo-Nazi, they would be like the Nazis in Germany, who were socialist/communist, Marxist, whatever. I was shocked to learn that that's not the case. They're, in fact, highly conservative. They just got this racist thing going on, man, and they just need to get that squared away. But, no, I won't be running him off. I might get into some serious debates with him concerning racism, but I ain't going to run him off. That would be counterproductive any damn way. We need every warm body we can get for what's coming. And there is some shit coming down the pike, man. I know it. I know it in here, and I know it down here. Okay? There's some heavy shit coming. And so I want every warm body I can get my hands on. Especially people that like guns. So, no, I won't be running them off. That's pretty much it. Alrighty then. Yes, there seems to be an update here. Okay, y'all remember when I made the vid against TAA, basically sticking up for the Aryan, what the hell was his name here? I fucking forgot, oh my god. Aryan warfare, yeah, that's it. I actually sorta, kinda stuck up for this guy. Actually, I put my fucking neck on the line is what I done for this guy. So, unbeknownst to you all, I was posting over on his channel, and I come back a few minutes later, all my fucking posts are gone. So I post, what happened to my posts? And then I come back later, and that post was gone, and I could no longer post because he had blocked my fucking ass. Yeah, that's right, folks. I stuck my neck out for this guy, and he blocks my ass. And deletes all my posts.
Can you believe it, folks?
Yeah, no shit. You can go there right now. Wonder Woman's giving him hell. Or she was. I'm sure she's probably blocked by now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess you live and learn, you know? I mean, I guess I was wrong to assume that because one neo-Nazi had done me right, that all of them would be halfway decent folk. Well, I guess I found out wrong, didn't I?
What a shocker, folks, that a neo-Nazi on the internet a faceless attic-dwelling fucking racist would turn out to be, with the name Aryan Warfare, would turn out to be a douchebag. Shocker. Wow, what a concept. To quote a certain Kentucky chimp monkey.
So, I just wanted to let y'all know about that little update. Y'all have a nice day now. Oh, and Aryan Warfare, that was a mistake.
All right, so Von Helton has a rich history with neo-Nazis. So it should come as no surprise that Von Helton would continue to support these people. It's very interesting indeed, folks. Give me a second. I got a video here that I want to share. I want to get into. We'll take it right from the teat right here. So this is Von Helton and his best buddy Solar Marshal hanging out. We watched some of this.
Alrighty, folks.
But there's a part here where they start getting into Hitler conspiracies. Up around here-ish. Actually, a little farther up. We're going to start in here. And that's one thing. I mean, to talk about, I know there's some theories out there about, like, Hitler moving to Argentina and all this fucking, nutty kind of stuff. But Von Helton actually believes he has a color photograph, a modern photograph of Hitler on a bus. Right? Like, the guy would have to be 100 and what years old? Like, he was born in the 1800s or some shit. So, I mean, there's some lunacy that way. But it actually gets to the point where these guys are actually making the argument, hey, they're not defending Hitler, but maybe he wasn't such a bad guy. Right? Like, maybe Hitler didn't even know about the concentration camps and shit. Right? Maybe people were lying to him. So, it's very interesting indeed. Folks, thank you for joining me. We're going to jump up here, like I said. Let's see. I'm not even sure what time that is. Let's back it up a bit. Alright, so they got photographs out. They got all this shit. So we'll just play it from about here, folks.
Because they were so fucking shocked at all the testimony of Hitler being down there. You got a lot of these servants and shit like that in the 60s and stuff were children back then. Okay, Vaughn, check this out. Okay, I'm going to show you Hitler. A guy that looks exactly like him. Okay.
I see him. I already see him. I already see him. He's bottom left corner. He's in between two guys. I see him. I see him right away.
They put him in there as a joke just to be like, fuck you. That's him.
That's him. Yeah.
And over here is Von Braun. See Von Braun standing
I see him, Von Braun, right.
Tall guy in the front row, that's Von Braun.
Right.
They did this as a fuck you. Like, guess what? Hitler's right in front of you. See his mustache and everything, Von?
Yeah, the mustache and everything, yeah.
That's Hitler, dude. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you, I see a dude that looks just like Rudolf Hess.
Yep.
And he's to the right of Hitler by about a couple heads.
Oh, that is Rudolf Hess, isn't it?
That is Rudolf Hess. Fuck yes, it is.
Adolf Eichmann, I think, is in this picture as well.
Is Adolf Eichmann in there too?
See, what they did was they took a number of them and made sure they went back down to Argentina, and they just kept an eye on. The FBI has files on all of this. The FBI knew where they were. They knew when they moved. They just kept sure that they made sure that they didn't leave Argentina. That's the gist of it.
He's in the lower left corner. Between a guy with a light colored tweed jacket and a guy with a three-piece.
It's Hitler
with a striped three-piece.
See, it's him.
He's in between those two.
That's right.
Let me get my here he is.
Right there. Yes, that's
right
Hitler.
There he is. There's Hitler.
Yep.
That's Hitler right there. And here's Rudolf Hess.
Yep.
Here's Rudolf Hess right here. Here's Rudolf Hess. And here's Adolf Hitler.
Martin.
And I bet. And now look here. Does this guy kind of look like Heinrich Himmler to you?
Well, the guy to the left of him, Von, is Von Braun.
Yeah, this is Von Braun, right?
Von Braun was 6'5". He was a very
this is Von Braun, right?
Yep.
But now I'm telling you, this guy looks like. Well, no, actually, this guy looks more like Heinrich Himmler.
You have to blow the photograph up.
Yeah, you got to blow the photograph up. But if I do that, then it gets cut off on the ends, and I got to move it
I
around.
went to high school with her grandfather was really good friends with Hitler, and you should see the fucking picture she has of Hitler and her grandpa and her family. It's staggering. That is Adolf Hitler, dude.
But it looks like him, doesn't it? It's your fucked up.
It's the same.
And this right here is a spinach. This is a spitting image of Rudolph Hess, man. No doubt about it. That is Rudolph Hess.
Well, the one
I'd
that
almost put money on it.
Makes me curious. I think they stuck it in there. Oh, dude, no, Vaughn, that's right. Hang on a minute. There's another famous Nazi up here on the left. Look, the guy up here on the very left. Look to the very left. 3 guys. That guy right there that you just had.
This guy?
No, the next guy over.
This guy.
That is damn it. Hold on a minute.
Joseph Goebbels. Joseph Goebbels.
I think it is. Hold on. Famous.
That is Joseph. Yeah, that's Joseph Goebbels. Yes, it fucking
You know where that picture was taken at? Area 51. Or no, White Sands, New Mexico.
White Sands, right. White Sands. But yeah, this looks like Joseph Goebbels. You're right. It could very well be. Joseph
hang on a minute. I have an absolute picture of him too. That is Joseph Goebbels. Yes, that's Goebbels.
Yeah, that's him, man. That's him.
Ain't that crazy, Vaughn, that they stuck that in your face?
Well, that doesn't surprise me, dude. It's not. It does. But this looks like Himmler. He's even got the fucking glasses, for fuck's sake. That's Himmler, man.
I've got a
That's
picture.
fucking Himmler.
I've got a picture of Joseph Goebbels up, and that guy and him are identical. They have the exact same hairline. Goebbels was kind of tall.
Yeah. Had a funny shaped head and face.
Yeah, nose. It's definitely him, dude. Look up Joseph Goebbels. You'll be shocked.
None of this surprises me.
Holly Maglio used to say that was her dad.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by any of this.
Holly used to say that was her dad and shit. Yeah, if you type in Joseph Goebbels, you can easily tell that's him. There's all kinds of angles from the same side. That is Goebbels, man.
Yeah, well, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah, dude, what does the Illuminati do? They throw it in your face.
They throw it in your face, right?
Now, that picture was not known for a long time. That picture didn't come out for quite some time. But, yeah, this girl I know, her family is runs the Bohemian Grove in the Russian. They're major Germans. Their last name's Singer. They actually her uncle actually ran the Russian River Valley, the Bohemian Grove, for many years. The Nazis are all tied into that stuff. They are all tied into that stuff. And the stuff that she showed me shocked me. I told her that some of those pictures are probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars that she had. And she didn't believe me. I'm like, I'm telling you, I said, I wouldn't even fucking let anybody know I had this shit. And that was 10 years ago. I was just in a state of shock at what I was looking at. It was her whole family at Hitler's, what is it called? The Berndorf, the Bergdorf, or whatever.
Can someone out there please Photoshop me a picture of Von Helton with Hitler? Like at a party, shaking his hand or standing behind him. I think someone did it for me years ago, but I don't have them anymore. Or like in a car at a fucking rally, waving something. Can someone do that for me? Some old black and white photos. That'd be awesome.
Ever that he had that place up in the mountains. Her family was like up there. They were very wealthy, and they were like up there with Hitler, and Eva Braun is crazy.
Yeah,
that's what really got me into this shit. Like 10 years ago, I was like blown away by it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And her family are all very, very famous, well-educated German. One's one of the biggest brain surgeons in the world. They're very educated, and they're all millionaires.
Certainly.
She don't work. She's fucking given a check every month to live off of. I tried to get in her pants, but she was married. I could have, I think, but she wasn't looking to get divorced. I was looking to,
right. You wanted to be permanent, right?
I wanted that freedom,
Yeah.
The fuck do I care that her great grandparents were related to Hitler or hung around Hitler? It meant nothing to me.
Well,
she's beautiful too.
Huh?
She's beautiful too.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
I should get one of them pictures and bring them down here one day and show it to you. You'll be in a complete state of shock.
Bird Test Garden in the Berghof. Yeah.
Yeah, the Berghof. Yeah, the one in the Austrian mountains is where the pictures are. They tore it down now, and I was just so I was just in such. She said, "Look at this," And Vaughn, it wasn't, it was just 2 pictures. It was like fucking hundreds of them. I was just,
oh, dude, video. We got video of Hitler up in that fortress, walking around, talking to little kids, and
I think the pictures are probably worth, I don't know.
And the thing of it is that he didn't seem like a bad guy in those videos, and it makes you wonder if maybe this inner circle of occultists that were around Hitler were manipulating him, or he was just a figurehead, and they were doing all the shit behind.
Hitler was incredible at
there's a rumor that Hitler found out about the death camps and was furious over it.
Yes,
but it's only a rumor. Can't be 100% corroborated.
The death camps were Adolf Eichmann's final solution. That was Eichmann's.
Let's
doing.
back
There was
that
a
up.
lot of shit going.
Let's back that up.
Right, you wanted to be permanent, right?
So we're setting the stage here, folks, that maybe Hitler wasn't such a bad guy. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. Now, there are, without getting digressed into like history and stuff, of course, there were some things that went on that Hitler didn't know at first, but it's not like he was against them, right? And anyways, let's just let these guys talk.
Wanted that freedom,
Yeah.
The fuck do I care? Their great grandparents were related to Hitler or hung around Hitler. It meant nothing to me.
Well,
She's beautiful too.
Huh?
She's beautiful too.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
I should get one of them pictures and bring them down here one day and show it to you. You'll be in a complete state of shock.
Berchtesgaden in the Berghof, yeah.
Yeah, the Berghof. Yeah, the one in the Austrian mountains is where the pictures are. They tore it down now, and I was just so, I was just in such. She says, "Look at this." And Vaughn, it wasn't. It was just 2 pictures. It was like fucking hundreds of them. I was just.
Oh, dude, video. We got video of Hitler up in that fortress, walking around, talking to little kids, and
I think the pictures are probably worth, I don't know.
And the thing of it is that he didn't seem like a bad guy in those videos, and it makes you wonder if maybe this inner circle of occultists that were around Hitler were manipulating him, or he was just a figurehead, and they were doing all the shit behind.
Hitler was incredible at.
There's a rumor that Hitler found out about the death camps and was furious over it.
Yes,
but it's only a rumor. Can't be 100% corroborated.
The death camps were Adolf Eichmann's final solution. That was Eichmann's doing. There was a lot of shit going on. They didn't have cell phones back then.
Right. And I'm thinking that some of this shit that's attributed to Hitler actually belongs to his inner circle and not him. Because remember, his inner circle.
And yeah, Solar Marshall is actually going to try to make the argument there weren't things like cell phones back then. So Hitler would have no idea about these death camps and shit. Like, no fucking clue. Right. Okay.
Was people that were dabbling in the dark arts, demons, vampirism, the same shit these elites are into. Yeah. Hitler's inner circle was into. They were into all kinds of nefarious shit. And you have to wonder if maybe Hitler was a patsy. There is that possibility.
Hitler was
because when you see the videos of Hitler just walking around, he's thronged by people. People, are all around him, wanting to touch him, wanting to talk to him, wanting to be around him. A madman, an evil person, somebody that exudes evil. People are not gonna, people are gonna naturally recoil from somebody like that. And it makes me wonder if Hitler, some of what was done, wasn't the inner workings of his inner circle and not him at all.
No, man, he had a personality. What's that called when you have when
charismatic? He had a charismatic personality, right?
Yes, it's incredibly charismatic, and he was much different than the person you see yelling. Have you ever watched any of the videos of Hitler talking in his natural voice? It's really interesting.
Yeah. But like I said, that we have a color video where he's at a resort up in a mountain, and it's a color video, which kind of shocked me.
Damn internet!
But it's a color video.
I'm
or it's
sorry,
been
Wilson
recolored
donated
one. But he's
$5 through Super Chat. Funny how those rumors being floated around about Hitler's outrage about the death camps are put out there by Nazis.
Yeah, funny how that works, isn't it? Huh. Interesting. Thank you, Wilson.
Up in this resort up in the mountains, and he's walking around and he's talking to little kids, and Ava's there and a bunch of people are there, and his top brass is there, and he doesn't seem like an evil dude. I mean, the people loved him, and I just
Slips of Serendipity's got some good comments out here. He's done his research. He states about how everybody that knew Hitler personally spoke of him highly.
Yeah.
He talks about, and he's right, Eichmann was the train transport guy. Reinhard Dietrich. Exactly.
Reinhard Dietrich, right.
The conference was the final planned solution. That is right. Now they ended up getting Adolf Eichmann and that's another thing. They got Adolf Eichmann. The Israeli Mossad got Adolf Eichmann in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I'd have to look
they
that
got
up.
Eichmann, and then after they got Eichmann, the fucking rest of the Nazis got real paranoid. They're like, well, if they got Eichmann, who else did they get? Or who else are they after?
It's not the idea of defending Hitler, Hamburger. It's the idea that that is a known fact that Hitler's inner circle dabbled in all kinds of occultist shit, demonic worship and fucking black magic and all kinds of nasty shit. That's not in dispute, man. Everybody, it's a matter of historical record.
Let me tell you something.
Hitler's inner circle was into dark shit, man.
The whole point of it is it could happen again. And let me tell you something. The United States could be the next fucking Nazi regime. Okay? Because once we start losing our grip, something crazy might happen.
Right.
You can't tell me that we're just going to fucking surrender to China and let them shit all over us.
Right.
Without a war, without a massive buildup of some kind of new technology, weaponry we got, whatever. I believe that we have the ability to wipe out an entire fucking country in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we having a problem with Mr. Green down there? Is he talking about
Oh, I'm sorry, John.
fleas or some shit? What's
Look
going on?
like the fleas are biting today. I don't know
what's up with the flea conversation. I mean, what's up with that? I don't know.
Come on, everybody. Just everybody try to get along.
Yeah,
man.
try to chill out, folks. Try to chill out.
Isn't it better when we all get along and laugh? Vaughn can open his stream up and people can come in and talk. If people just don't come in and try and porn bomb him or shit like that. Wouldn't that be funner? It's fun to sit here and talk to Vaughn and laugh.
Right,
Have a
exactly.
good time. I mean, I try and come in here and laugh and have a good time. When they're talking about religion and shit, I don't even come on here. I don't want to talk about religion. No offense, Vaughn. I don't want to talk about religion, dude. I hear enough of that shit.
Well, you converted to the pagan gods anyway, so
Well, I'm calling myself an eclectic pagan right now because I am not a Christian anymore.
Right.
So what am I?
You're an eclectic pagan.
That's right.
You're not.
That's weird. It just seemed like months ago he was making the claim that he found Jesus, and he asked Vaughn to forgive him for being mad that Vaughn ripped him off for money. It's funny how that works. Anyways, folks, let's pick up the pace a little bit and get into more recent events.
Alrighty, folks, a little.
All right, let's stop that for a sec. And let's get into what is prompted GMAN to expose Von Helton and how wrong he is about slavery. So this was a hangout.
We'll be back.
Or a stream that GMAN had done this weekend, where he and Von's bromance hit a little rough patch. So I'm just going to go up to about the 2-hour mark and just start it there randomly.
God damn internet!
I'm sorry, Wilson donated $5 through Super Chat. Odd parallel between Vaughn and Midnight. They're both albino and obese, and they both defend Hitler.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? That's very interesting indeed. All right, so let's just start it here. And thank you once again, Wilson. And Get this party rocking.
On the live chat.
Yeah, I want you to translate. I want you to translate to the audience what I said because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taken out of context.
About Matt
Yep,
Dillon?
you will.
Yeah.
About what? That he's not educated on the topic at all?
On the slavery issue and why he believes slavery ended in America and how it ended and what slavery is. And if you never heard him talk about it, I got some videos I can send you. You might punch your computer screen when you hear it, though.
Well, yeah, let me see the videos. Basically, what you're saying, he don't have knowledge on the whole slavery debate, and you will destroy him in it. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, he doesn't know as much as he thinks he does. I would have a much rougher time arguing with a historian or somebody who actually takes the topic seriously. I think the only reason he cares about the topic, and I could be wrong about this, but Matt's never given me the opportunity to hear him out on this. I don't think Matt Dillon cares about the topic. I think he only uses it as a weapon against us Christians. I think that's what he does.
I've only heard him speak about it when you bring it up.
No, he talks about it with a lot of people. Just type in Matt Dillon. You'll see a whole bunch of videos with him talking about it. I'm gonna show you with that.
So you want to debate him on the slavery issue? What type of I mean, you know what I'm saying? What's your opinion on it? That slavery still exists, or you just want to debate him in general on this issue?
What I want to debate Matt Dillon on is because Matt Dillon says that slavery across the board in every scenario that slavery is wrong, that slavery is immoral. I don't believe that. I believe that slavery in of itself is not wrong, especially biblical slavery. And the reason why I know it's not wrong is because I understand the circumstances in which slavery was used for as a system of restitution. And believe it or not, we actually practice that here in America too. But as a system of restitution and as a system of something like a welfare system, and also for prisoners of war. So
right, but restitution only applies to indentured servants, so G-Man, not actual slaves.
Well, here's the thing. Matt Dillon says indentured servitude is immoral. He actually said that.
Well, then every time you go get a job, I guess you're being immoral.
That's what I said to him.
I mean, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah, he believes that indentured servitude is wrong. He actually said that.
They bought passage on these ships, and they come over here, and then they had to pay the money back. Wow, what a shock! You know, I mean, you know, I don't, you know, no. To me, indentured servitude is not slavery. Slavery is whips, chains, real iron bars, and you never escape, short of Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, of course. You know, otherwise you'd be a slavery for life.
Think about this. They see all the dislike that's going towards Caucasians right now. I believe this is a profound point. Think about all of the dislike that's going towards Caucasian people because racism in America, right? And they hear what's really on our hearts and what's on our minds concerning this particular topic.
Right.
You would think they would get more sensitive and be like, well, perhaps we are wrong about the topic. Maybe we should find out what black people really think about this. They're not doing that. What they're doing is they're right.
No, they will not.
Talking about you black people are uneducated. That's what Matt Dillon comes across as. When he's
now.
I am so insulted by that dude. It's not even funny. And it's not just him. It's anybody that argues like him.
G-Man.
That's the point that I'm just insulted talking to those guys.
G-Man, right now, 127,000 blacks are enslaved in the Middle East. Right now, while I'm talking to you, 127,000 blacks are enslaved in the Middle East. Real whips, real chains, real iron bars. Where is the hue and cry? Oh, because they aren't white.
Secular morality isn't
white. Nobody says a word.
I guess. I don't know.
Nobody says a word because they're not white. If they were white folk, it'd be all over the news 24/7. How those evil whites are enslaving blacks even today. But it's not white; they're Muslim, and so therefore not one word is said. Not one word is said.
Okay, let's see what Pioneer has to say. Let's see what Pioneer has to say.
The Middle East. Remember, we don't went through how many wars with the Middle East and Desert Storm. The Middle East is already the Muslims in the Middle East is already labeled as what? Insurgents. They're labeled as the worst of the worst. So if they have 100 and something thousand slaves right now, the Muslims, I don't know if they can hide that. Because you already have this country that's trying to label.
Vaughn, let him finish, Vaughn. Let him finish. I mean, everybody's got to say
You already have this country, United States, that do a hell of a job with England in the media that's labeling Muslims as terrorists, as insurgents. So I need to see the information on that, because if they have 127,000 slaves and like whoops and chains, I gotta see that, because how did America get it? Why did America?
They have slaves in Africa too, gentleman pioneer. You can buy one for about $30, for what I understand, or $300.
Well, Africa.
Bring up my link, G-Man. Bring up my thing there. Bring it up.
Here we go.
Yeah. East Africa's forgotten slave trade. I will read it for you, class. Over several centuries, countless East Africans were sold as slaves by Muslim Arabs to the Middle East and other places via the Sahara Desert and Indian Ocean. Experts say it is time for this to be discussed more openly.
That's a trans-Sahara.
The island of
you're saying we
Zanzibar,
don't care because it's not white people? Is that
they
what
don't
you're saying?
care because it's not white folk. That's what I said.
Are you sure it's not because it's in another country and we don't see it?
Lubis. Let him finish reading what he's reading, and then you can ask him.
The island of Zanzibar is today considered one of East Africa's best destinations. White sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and hotels offer tourists from all over the world a holiday to remember. Long forgotten, though, is the dark past that overshadowed this sunny paradise 200 years ago. The archipelago, which today is a semi-autonomous part of Tanzania, was then regarded as the center of East African slave trade. In addition to valuable raw materials such as ivory and the coveted cloves, one thing stood out above all others in the colorful markets: hundreds of slaves. From Eastern Europe to North Africa, the sale of African slaves can be traced back to antiquity. It became popular in the 7th century when Islam was gaining strength in North Africa. This was 7 centuries before Europeans explored the continent and 10 centuries before West Africans were sold across the Atlantic. Let me read this again. This was 7 centuries before Europeans explored the continent and 10 centuries before West Africans were sold across the Atlantic to America. There was no white people involved. None. All right?
What's your point?
It's the fucking debate right there. Now,
Okay, so there's no debate. All he wanted to do was see the information. Let him look at it. Give him a link in the private chat. Vaughn,
give him a link. Yes.
Give him a link in the private chat.
It is kind of
lengthy,
lengthy.
and then he'll make a
I
video.
get so tired of these people that come in. They blame the white man for every evil in the world, and that's a load of crap. Okay, it's just a load of crap. And and I'm not even white. I'm technically a red man, but I get sick of it. I get sick of any type of injustice.
Vaughn. I for one don't blame white people for every evil that exists out there.
You'd be amazed how many people out there do.
However, Caucasian people were the ones who owned black people during the transatlantic slave trade, and they were the ones who beat these people.
Actually,
hold on a minute. They were bought, paid for, was made to work for free.
Right.
All right. And these same people was calling black people racial slurs. We see this going on today, this very day. So I get what you're saying. You're saying that the African nations are just as responsible as the white settlers that came over here and brought and stole them and bought them and brought them over here and whatnot. I get and I understand it. However, there's a certain amount of responsibility that Caucasian people are taking. Not even an issue whether or not they should, that they are taking for the transatlantic slave trade. Because just like you showed the article, I can show you who are the people who own these slaves.
Actually, I have a PDF of the slave. Actually, I have a PDF of the slave owners in the South, and the vast majority of them were black folk, free blacks. The vast majority. Was there
the vast majority
PDF
of the
folks.
people during the transatlantic slave trade was not black.
According to the PDF I have,
according like Scientist Sam did.
Hold on.
According to the PDF I have, the majority of slave owners in America during the 1800s were free blacks. In fact, the very first person.
You said that the majority of the people in the South that owned slaves were black. I want you to think about that a minute, Vaughn, before I go to my screen sharing. I want you to think about that a minute.
I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about it.
Hold on a minute. You're saying that 51%, hold on a minute. You're saying that at least 51% of the people that owned slaves in the
We're
South
free blacks.
were
Yes.
black. Hold on a minute. We're black, and that 49% of them were white. May I please see your source?
Well, I like I said, it's a PDF that I have
I
acquired.
don't care about a PDF. I want to see your history. I want to see your source.
Well, I don't think it's on the internet.
That is a bunch of baloney.
Well, no, it's not a bunch of baloney, because the very first person that had slaves in America was a free black man. Yes, it was.
Oh,
That's
really?
documented. Yes.
Really?
I can
That's
Google that.
documented where?
But that I can
Let me
Google.
see that. Let me see that.
Okay, all right. I will Google it. Nobody knows how to use Google, so I'll Google it
Ain't like
myself.
crazy. Let me see it.
Yeah, I gotta see that. The first slave owner.
So
in the United States was black.
Yes.
Oh, this should be good. Let's hear that.
Okay, so G-Man, while he's looking for that, you were saying how, a lot of the white people get all this hate because of the whole slavery thing, and that their view on it's probably wrong. So they
want to focus on what Von Hilton's saying first, and then we'll get to you, Lubis.
I wonder why he has to Google it, because he keeps saying he has a PDF. So why doesn't he just bring it up and screen share it, and then get the link? But anyways, just funny.
I'm gonna give you my undivided attention. Let's focus on the lunacy that we're listening to right now. So Von, let me see how the first person that was owned in the United States was black, because I'm pretty sure they probably was Native American. I'm pretty sure, but let's see how the first person that was owned here in the United States was a black man owning another black man.
Yeah, let me bring it up here.
I'm assuming George Washington was the president, right?
Washington was one of the presidents.
Okay,
No,
so
in the 1800s, Washington would not have been president. No, in the 1800s, Washington would not have been president. No.
Who was the president then?
I don't know. Let's see.
You said that one of the first people to own slaves in the United States.
I'm bringing it up right now. Hold on.
Was a black person owning another black person. But you said
here he is. I'll give you his name.
Washington was the first president of the United States.
There it is.
He's gonna say Anthony Johnson. That's what he's gonna say.
Anthony Johnson, from captive to right wing talking point. He was the first slave owner. And he had slaves. He was a free black man. He had slaves. He was the first slave owner. His name is Anthony Johnson. Anyone can look him up. This is not made up. I'm not pulling it out of my rear end. He was a slave owner.
Yeah, but
he was the first slave owner in America.
No, that's disinformation, my friend.
That's disinformation.
Not everything that you get on the internet is true, dude.
Well, there's 100. Would you like me to pull up another 100 articles? Because there's hundreds of articles.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
I mean, there's one. There's another.
Vaughn, did you get? Okay, can you do me a favor? I want to know who owns that site so I can look at it, so I can find out whether or not this is the KKK.
It's AAIHS.org. Whoever that is.
How about all races are guilty of this?
But facing history.org.
Hold on a minute. I'm going to remove Vaughn and Lubis. Hey, Gentleman Pioneer, are you processing this, Gentleman Pioneer?
No, I've read that. No, he's not wrong. I've read that before too. I read that Anthony Black was it, but see, bring him back in, because I'm gonna hit him with something right now.
All right.
And it's gonna make him go whoa.
Okay.
I'm about to hit him with something to make him go whoa.
Okay.
Now you say Anthony Johnson was the first black slave owner.
Well, that's what they're claiming.
Hold on. But when did Anthony Johnson? Because he was wealthy, right? When I know about Anthony Johnson, because I thought that too, and I was going to mention that on my, when I was talking about slavery. But when did Anthony Johnson? Since you're looking at the site, when did he first was in the? It was in the United States of America. It was called Americas. When was he first in the New World? And when did he have slaves? Because he had slaves in 1621, right?
I didn't read the article.
Okay, all right. Now let me tell you something. The arrival of the first slaves in the Jamestown colony was 1619. That predates Anthony Johnson.
Right.
You got to remember. You know what I mean? The English privateer commander John Job, he and the we call it Portuguese clashed, and when he seized their boat, he found 20 slaves in the boat.
But they're not attacking the British. They're attacking Americans. And
I'm telling you, you just told me Anthony Johnson was the first. I thought that too.
Okay,
But I had to look at history.
Okay, it's nice that you're talking about British white folk that had it, but we already knew the British white folk had slaves. That's not in question.
Before Anthony
The
Johnson.
question is
Slaves was here before him.
American people. And the first American to have slaves was a black man.
And
everybody
how could
knows
that be
this.
right?
It's not hidden.
How
It's
could
not.
That's not true.
Vaughn, how could
That's
that be
not
right
true.
when the first slaves that ever touch America, the New World, was in 1619? How could that be right? God
damn, because that wasn't America.
Mr.
That was
Unite
the New
4,
World.
The children donated $5 through Super Chat. This is like watching the 100-yard dash for idiots who don't know how to run.
Yeah, it's like blind boxing or the Special Olympics or something. Thank you very much.
America was not
The
founded until
Jamestown colony,
1776.
Jamestown colony held the first enslaved Africans arrive in North America.
And again, that's British nationals, not Americans.
Hold on, Anthony Johnson came after that.
1600s, there was no America in the 1600s. The America was not founded until 1776.
But hold on,
Anything
they
before
call it the
that
New World.
was
The New
British
World was-
colony.
New World
And under British
hold
rule,
on.
I might
Then
add.
I got you there.
And under British
Who was
rule,
Anthony
you
Johnson?
could have slavery.
Who was Anthony Johnson? Anthony Johnson was a colonist. He was a colonist. So he was part of the colony.
Hey, Vaughn, the site that you looked at, was it written by a white supremacist?
I doubt it.
I think you better look it up because
I don't
somebody in
think
the
so.
Uh,
live chat saying that that's the case.
Well, it's called Black Perspective, so he must be.
It doesn't matter what they call it. Make sure it wasn't written by a white supremacist.
It's by Tyler Perry, whoever that is. I don't know who that is. Let me see.
Okay, so
Because
we'll
I
look
can
up the
click
top
that.
area. And let me take this off of the screen here because I don't want to get hit with a YouTube thing
But,
here.
but you know what's so funny? And then I'm gonna hit Vaughn with something else, some more little history. Let me hit you with a little more history. Anthony Johnson worked for the Portuguese. And they used to call him Antonio because he was half Portuguese. Did you know that? So he wasn't a black man, he was half Portuguese. And the Portuguese enslaved Africans before the Europeans. You remember the transatlantic slave trade was called a European.
The Portuguese
Atlantic
are
slave trade.
not
You need to do more.
American.
You need more research on Anthony Johnson because
The
I did a lot of
Portuguese
research on him.
Are not Americans.
I never said they're Americans. I said
You-
Anthony Johnson
We were
worked for them.
talking about the first American slave owner. Not
And if he was an
Portuguese,
American,
not British
he was
colonies.
an American. Vaughn, he was Portuguese.
We're not talking about the Portuguese. We're not talking about the British.
Vaughn,
We're
he
talking
was
about the
Portuguese,
first
Vaughn.
American.
He was
There was
Portuguese
no
that came
such
to
thing
America.
as an American until after 1776.
He was Portuguese that came to America. That's not true. If you look up America, look up the New World. They call it
My
America.
head's hurting. My head's hurting.
Because
Vaughn,
I
who
can show
cares
I
who
can
my
show
head's
him a
hurting?
screenshot.
That's not okay. Look. I appreciate the fact that you found all these Europeans that owned slaves, but that was never in question. We were
Anthony
not
Johnson was
questioning.
owned by a white man named Bennett in Virginia.
He was owned by, yes, he was a slave. That's right. Anthony Johnson was a
That's what
slave.
that's
and
what
then he became, right.
Titus
And then
said.
he became a slave
So
owner. That's right. When he became free.
Vaughn, that article that you're reading is actually trying to take the responsibility off of white people for the transatlantic slave trade.
And it was called a European Atlantic slave
That's
trade.
that's what that link that you were looking at was trying to do, and it's doing.
Dude, I've got 1,000 links on this guy. Okay, if you want me to get another link, I can. It doesn't matter. I've got 1,000
No,
links
G-Man,
about
that's-
this.
No, you know what
But
it is,
who
G-Man?
cares if
Vaughn,
he's
you
the
know,
first
you know what it
owner?
is, G-Man?
Yeah.
Vaughn,
Who cares? It's the big
he
deal.
found-
don't want
hold on,
that. See,
Vaughn
that's
found
what I'm
Anthony
saying.
Johnson.
They don't want to
I
admit.
looked up Anthony
Go ahead,
Johnson.
SGD. Go ahead.
I looked up Anthony Johnson a lot because I'm like, hold on, a black man owned another black man. The Anthony Johnson he want to talk about was a slave. The Anthony Johnson he trying to refer to was a Portuguese. He worked for the Portuguese and he came to America. So I'm like, Vaughn, what are you talking about? Because the slaves was here, and I just gave you the date, 1619. What's the name? John Joe brought slaves to America. It was called New World. So there was already slaves here.
Yeah, obviously the
The
person who
whole
wrote the article
point-
is trying to take the responsibility.
The whole point
white people
of
for
the
what they did.
Constitution of the United States was to abolish slavery. I don't know if you're aware of that.
The point that I was bringing up was this: Secularists are trying to argue that secular morality was responsible for abolishing and getting rid of slavery here in America.
HOODS 360 donated $5 through Super Chat. Remember, folks, GP knows what G-Man Rod tastes like.
Okay, well, that's right, folks. You gotta keep that. You gotta keep that in mind. You gotta keep it balanced here. Thank you very much.
Because they realize it's probably not good to own other people.
There was no
And
atheist
that
in
is the
America that I'm
stupidest thing
aware
a
of.
person can get on the internet and say because of what immediately happened after slavery.
The only socialist I'm
gentleman
aware
Pioneer,
of.
follow my logic on this, gentleman Pioneer. Follow this logic if you can. Watch this here now, okay? The secular morality, the people that followed secular morality understood that it was wrong to own people, right? As chattel slavery and whatnot, right? But apparently secular morality didn't have an issue with groups like the Ku Klux Klan. They didn't have problems with any other group that attempted to suppress and to murder black people and to control them by destroying the black man here in the United States. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? When you hear atheists make these arguments and not really think through the things that's coming out of their mouth, it makes them look bad. It makes them look like they didn't study or anything like that. How do you explain what immediately happened after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed? How do you explain that?
No, see, G-Man, I'm gonna tell you something. When I did research on Anthony Johnson, it was two of them. I said, hold on, what's going on with this? And they had one Anthony Johnson that worked for the Portuguese. Then they had the Anthony Johnson that Vaughn said that was a slave that was sold, and his name was even Anthony. They gave him that name. His name was Antonio, and they took it from Portuguese.
Right.
And they had another Anthony Johnson that was that worked for the Portuguese, and he was half Portuguese. So I'm like, hold on, you got too many stories about one person that's supposed to be the first owner of slaves. So that's what I'm trying to explain to Vaughn. It's like there's two different Anthony Johnsons. I don't know, because they have two different, definitions for both Anthony Johnsons. And then Vaughn is getting mad because he's like, no, Vaughn, I'm just telling you, it's not a
Okay, I'm gonna own this. Bring up my thing. Okay, we're gonna own this right now. Okay, we're gonna.
All right. Here we go here.
All right. In 1655, John Cassar, a man enslaved in the Virginia colony, sued for his freedom. Mr. Cassar argued that he was an indentured servant who had been forced by his enslaver, Anthony Johnson, to serve past his term. On March 8, 1655, the court ruled against Mr. Cassar, declared him enslaved for life, and ordered him to return to Johnson. Okay, that ends the debate because I'm sure that's well documented. That was in a court of law, so I'm sure it's well documented. Okay, so what about Anthony Johnson, a black man, had slaves, and he was most likely the first person to have slaves in America.
Well, the first claim that you made is the first owner in America was a free black man.
Yes.
That's the claim that you originally made.
Yes. And I maintain that because Anthony Johnson was a free black man. He was a slave. He served his term and became a free man. And then he himself became a slaver.
Well, Vaughn, you also said, Vaughn, that the majority of the people in the South that owned slaves were black.
We're black, and I have a PDF to that effect.
Vaughn, answer this. Riddle me this, Vaughn. Just let me.
I want to know how you all can sit there and claim that the Romans and the Greeks were black. That's what I'm wanting to know, because that's what's going on now. Oh my God! Oh yeah. You think I'm kidding? I'll pull it up right now. Everybody. Oh yeah. There ain't no white man in history no more. They all gone.
Vaughn, I just want to ask a question.
The Romans and Greeks are now black men. I'll pull it up.
I just want to ask a question.
Slaves in the South
during
the transatlantic slave trade were black. Nobody believes that.
G-Man, let me ask
Romans are now black, folks. You heard it here first, folks. The Greeks and the Romans are black now.
G-Man, let me ask this question. G-Man, let me ask this question.
Ain't no
let me ask you this question.
White people.
Vaughn,
ain't no white people now. They're all black.
Vaughn, let me ask you this question.
The Romans and the Greeks are black.
You said Anthony Johnson or Antonio Johnson was the first black man on slaves. That's what you said.
That's what it says.
Okay, now listen, Vaughn.
What it says, bro.
I just gave you history on,
and I just gave you an actual article from a court of law.
No, you gotta let me finish, bro, because this can't be you just over talking me. I'm trying to give you a point to ask your question.
All right, go ahead, John Piner. I muted him. Go ahead.
If I just gave you history of saying 20 slaves came here before Antonio Johnson owned. But your own slaves, what happened to those 20 people that were slaves that came here in 1619 before Anthony Johnson. What happened to them?
I'll tell you what happened to them. They
Yeah, tell
became
me what-
free. They became free blacks who in turn enslaved their own people. That's what
So
happened.
those 20 people,
That's
they
what
let
happened to
go
'em.
and it became free black.
That's what happened to them.
Okay.
And when I find my PDF and I do my video expose on this, you're going to get their names. You're going to get what state they
No,
were in,
and
and
then
all
you're
that.
going to get a video response, and you're going to get your butt owned. I wouldn't.
No, I'm
do it if
not
I were you.
either. No, I'm not.
I wouldn't do it if I were you, because
Well, I'm going to do it anyway because the truth needs to come out, man. I'm sick and tired of black
and you
white
won't,
folk being
and you
accused.
will not get just owned by me. Everybody who sees the video is going to own you. Don't do it, Vaughn. I'm telling you that right now.
No, but at the end of the day, Vaughn made a statement, and the statement Vaughn made was, you know, everybody blames the white man.
Everybody
But Vaughn,
blames the white man,
but
especially
Vaughn,
today.
You said
Especially
you are
today.
Native American. The
I don't
white man,
care.
you have a
I don't
hard
wanna see
history with
any-
the white man. If you're Native American, you have one of the hardest histories, like African
Gentleman
American.
pioneer, I don't want any injustice. I don't want any injustice. 'Cause
Wait,
if they
wait,
can do it-
when I'm
if
talking
they
about
can do it
you,
to a
you
white
wasn't even
man,
there, Vaughn. Vaughn, we wasn't even there, Vaughn. Who's
doesn't
responsible?
matter. If they can do it to a
Who's
white man, they can do
responsible
it to
for
anybody.
Native American Indians living on the reservations? I'm curious. Who's responsible for that?
Wasn't the white man that killed all the buffalo? Wasn't the
That
white
was
man that
Brit- the
shot
Brit-
the
okay,
buffalo?
Where's the dodo
so he could
bird?
take the Native American food?
The British were the ones that came over with the smallpox blankets.
God.
The Americans were blamed for that. It ended up not even be the Americans; it was the British.
Okay. All right.
You know,
all right.
I get
There's
like
people
I
that wanna
said,
get
I've got a
involved in this.
video on that too, by the way.
Lou Biscuit, do me a favor, Lou Biscuit. You post a link in the live chat for me, Lou Biscuit.
Yeah,
Post
because
a
I'm
link.
blocked.
Put your
I
link.
can't
Put the
post
female link in
that.
the live chat.
Vaughn,
post a
I'm
link
letting you
in the
know
live
something,
chat.
Vaughn.
Yeah,
Vaughn, I'm
because
letting
people
you
want to
know
come in here.
something, man.
Oh,
If you
okay.
you a
Gentlemen
Native
pioneers,
American.
did the
You have
Americans
the
bring the
hardest
smallpox
history.
blankets or the British? Who did?
Huh?
Was it the Americans or the British that brought the smallpox blankets?
I say the British. Who brought
Okay,
them?
well, that's correct. Okay, now that just happens to be correct. Most people are saying the Americans did it. Americans didn't do it. It was the British. And I put a video out on BitTuber, about that very topic because people are saying Americans were the ones that came up with the smallpox blankets. No, it was the British. But see, the Americans get the blame every time.
You
and white
Native
folk get the blame
American, and
every
you sitting
time.
here telling
And then
me
what they can
that
do to the
don't
white
blame the
man,
white
they can
man.
do to me, you, and everybody else.
You telling
It's
me
the
not
white
to
man
blame
today.
the white
It'll
man.
be somebody else tomorrow.
Vaughn, don't leave the room, Vaughn. I'm gonna try to get back.
It'll be white. It's white man today. It'll be somebody else tomorrow. Watch. It's white man today. It'll
Vaughn,
be somebody else
your
tomorrow.
history with the white man is horrible. You a Native American. Your history is the
I
worst
believe
history
that any
with
injustice
the
is
white
horrible.
man. Am I
believe
Lubin,
that
am I
any
lying?
injustice is horrible.
Native Americans have one of the worst histories with
As
the
Lucas
Europeans.
correctly pointed out, everyone is guilty of this crap. Not just the white man. But who gets talked about the most? The white man.
Oh my God!
Like
Vaughn.
I said, here is an actual court case. 1655.
Vaughn, if I
John
didn't know
Castor.
you, Vaughn, if I didn't know you, Vaughn, I like you would get cremated in this room right now. I'm trying to be patient. First of all, you made 3 claims. Number one, you said that the first free black man in the United States was the first person to own a black man in the
And the
United
20,
States.
hold on,
And
G-Man.
his name is
G-Man.
Anthony
two,
Johnson. And here's a
20 that
court
came
case
over here
for that
before
very
him was
topic.
released.
There's a
Then
court
number
case for the
two-
very topic.
Hold on a minute, Vaughn. Then
Are
number
you saying
two-
court cases are not legitimate now?
Then number 2, you said the majority of the slave owners.
G-Man.
Translate the slave trade.
I've got a PDF to that effect. Yeah.
Fine. I got a PDF that says that Superman can jump tall buildings open in a single bound. Listen here, okay? Listen, okay?
All right. Go ahead.
I will check my Discord and I will help with your impending lawsuit. It'll be coming your way from Von Helton, for sure.
The thing is this, okay? Now you're trying to tell people that the majority of the slave owners in the South,
Yeah.
the
Gone
South,
with the Wind is a fucking lie, man. It's a lie. Yes, it is. It's a lie.
Okay, Vaughn. Okay, Vaughn. What about this,
Alex
Vaun?
Jones isn't that.
What
It's
about
a
this?
lie. Say something like
Sorry,
that.
but it is.
Come on.
What about this? What about the Willie Lynch letters and all of that? What about this? What about
Maybe we should read
the
them.
harsh shit?
Maybe we should read them.
And
that
they're
was
saying
brought
that
up
the
from-
Greeks and the Romans are black now. So I mean, you know.
Aren't you from the South?
Vaughn,
Wait.
hold on. Let me give you a history lesson. Let me give you
Well,
another
aren't you
history
gonna
lesson,
tell me?
Vaughn.
You're going to give me a revisionist history lesson.
No, no, no. I'm gonna
That's
give you
okay.
a real history lesson.
That's okay.
Who?
Yeah, that's okay.
What general went to Rome?
I don't need that. I know that
What
General
general
Lee was
went
going to
to
free the slaves. I know that, but we ain't going to talk about that either,
Vaughn?
are we?
What general
Because
went to
that doesn't
Rome?
fit the narrative. That
Vaughn,
doesn't fit the narrative.
Vaughn,
That
I'm just
people are going
asking
to
what
be free
general
no matter
went to
who
Rome?
won the war. That doesn't fit the narrative.
Vaughn, what general went to Rome and was one of the most deadliest generals in in the world history back in the Roman days? Hannibal. Wasn't Hannibal a bad dude? Did not Hannibal go over there? Was he not from Carthage? And where was Carthage at? In Africa. And he went over there. He terrorized Rome. He was in Rome, not the city Rome, but he was over around the parts of Italy. And he
Vaughn, you are
terrorized
giving
Italy.
ammunition like
He
crazy.
did not
right now,
terrorize
man.
Italy, Vaughn. Hannibal did not terrorize Italy. He did not have. He was not. Him and his Carthage soldiers
Romans
did not have
and Greeks
children
are
over
now
there.
black, folks. That is the prevailing thought right now, and I can
Why you
bring
think
it up
Sicily?
in
Why you
Google
think Sicily
right
are
now.
darker
I
than
can bring it up
G-Man?
right now in Google. There
Why you
is
think
no. They
Sicily?
have
Why you think
literally
Sicilians are darker
erased
than
the white
G-Man?
man from history, folks. He's literally been erased from history. And unless you're talking about slavery or something evil like that, then it's okay to have the white man still around. But as far as history, white man has been completely erased. They're now saying that blacks, that Romans were black, that Greeks were black, Carthaginians.
Stop listening to the Black Hebrew Israelites and start listening to the historians, okay? So the bottom line is this, Vaughn. I know that the Romans were white, and I know that they have their own history, they have their own nationality. I get and I understand it. Black people have some whack things that we did in history, and white people have whack things that they did in history. And one of the whack things that they did was the transatlantic slave trade. All right?
Vaughn, you scaring me, Vaughn. You scaring me. You know what I'm saying? The history. See, you talking about don't blame white people, but white people did some terrible crimes back then. You know, like, come on. I'm not blaming all white people. I'm not saying all the white people is bad, Vaughn.
Obviously, there are a lot of white people today
yeah, but Vaughn, you talking about the ones in
that thoroughly
1800s.
opposes what happened 200 years ago, 400 years ago. In
Who
this country.
created Jim Crow laws, Vaughn? Was that a black man in Congress that created Jim Crow laws? Was that the black man in the
Eustachian's history, the first Romans were actually black people.
No, the Hebrew Israelites don't even believe that nonsense.
There it is. There's the article right there.
Vaughn, stop believing everything that you see on TV, dude. Like, honestly, stop believing everything you read on the internet. Stop it. This is what I'm talking about, dude, about being educated versus being indoctrinated. And you are showing an example right now of somebody that's being indoctrinated. This is not education right now.
I didn't say I believe it. I didn't say I believe it. I said that's what they're putting out there. This is from history.com.
On this topic, I got to put you in the category with Dylan Hunty and those guys, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
G-Man, this is coming from history.com, dude. Eustachian's history, the first Romans were black people. I told you, they are scrubbing the white man from history. Literally. They are literally eliminating the white man from history.
I don't think nobody in the world believed that that the first Romans and the Greeks was black. But if
Somebody better make a video response.
What do you want me to say?
Somebody better make a video response to this nonsense.
I'm telling you, I'm at History Daily. All right, History Daily, which is an offshoot of history.com. And Eustachian's history, this is a headline. First Romans were black people. And I can do the same for the Greeks as well.
Only thing I can say is that when Hannibal.
Just a quick public service announcement, folks. If for whatever reason you are wondering about Von Helton's lineage in regards to his claims of being a red man or otherwise, the man to talk to would be Father J, a.k.a. Schneider Handyman. That is the guy you want to talk to. If you don't know how to get a hold of him, you can find him over on MeWe. He's there quite a bit. Trolls, haters, naysayers. You can join our Discord. I think he's over there, but he's not active over there as much. But he is active on MeWe, so you can contact him directly if you have any. I'm sure he would be happy to spread any information that he has that he thinks may help. I'm sure he'll help get it out there. Folks, thank you for joining me, Jeepers Creepers. I see that the Revelation News has made a video called Von. We're gonna have to check that out in a few minutes, but let's keep this going. This is entertaining. Again, this is my first time watching through it, so I mean, I skimmed through some parts before, but interesting. It's been an interesting day for streams. It's wow.
Went over the Italy. He was from Africa, and you know some of his army was from Africa, and he went over there and terrorized those cats. That's why you have Sicilians that are darker than G-Man.
Yeah,
Today.
Vaughn, the
So,
problem
you know,
Vaughn is that you're listening to you, not me. You are listening to revisionists, and you are listening to people who are trying to rewrite history.
Yeah.
Not me. I am fully aware of the people of some of the groups out there that are trying to make black people white and white people black. I deal with them on my other channel. I understand it and I get that. But the information that you're bringing out today is fake news. That's not even real history, man, at all. It isn't.
That's what they're putting out there as the truth, though. That's what they're putting out. I don't agree. I don't agree with it. I agree. It's wrong. It's totally lies.
I can
But
pull
they're
up
putting it
something
out there as truth anyway.
I could pull up something right now on
from history.com.
On history from
history.com.
Yes, I could pull something up from history.com that will blow your mind. I said that Superman existed back in the Atlantean days. I'm dead serious. I don't see that. Yes, I don't see that.
I don't think you're going to get Superman from history.com, but you can
I'm
try.
just telling you, Vaughn, don't believe everything, especially history.com, because Vaughn, do you know that history.com has been diluted now?
Well, all of the okay, in 1982, which happened to be the year I graduated high school, by the way, there was this thing called the American Historical Society. And the American Historical Society is made up of Skull and Bones members, and unfortunately, they were tasked with rewriting our school books and American history and some world history, some, not all, but some world history as well. And they literally rewrote American history. And you know, this is unfortunate, and but it did happen. It did occur. I literally watched my school books in 1981 say one thing, and then my school books in 1982 say a completely different thing, because they literally rewrote our history. And I get to watch it happen live, man. I got to see my books from 81.
But still, if you're gonna talk about something that happened in history, it's good to go look it up to see whether or not you know the rest of
well, the problem, G-Man, is that a lot of it has been destroyed by now. That's the problem.
You are old enough to know. You're old enough to know, Vaughn, if you graduated in 1982, what you was taught then versus what's being taught.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, to have sources that will back up the things that you're saying. You didn't study this. I can tell you.
You have to go
read some article.
Right, but G-Man, you have to go to a physical library. You have to go through the microfiche, the card catalog, what have you, to pull out this information. You're not going to find it on the internet, G-Man.
Not with everything.
The internet has been sanitized for your protection. You're not going to find it.
Listen to me. I'm aware of what you're talking about. I'm just saying you don't got to do that with everything. And when it comes to this topic of slavery, what you're talking about, black people, it's a majority. Anyway, Lubis, you say you had something that you want to say, Lubis. What's going on?
I kind of forgot what I wanted to, I mean,
you had it written down on a piece of paper.
Well, all I know is that all I know. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, Vaughn, I don't know. You out of nowhere just started talking about why white people are being blamed for this, and then you just went crazy. I don't know why you did that. We weren't even talking about that.
Because I can't stand injustice, Lupus. Maybe it's because I'm a dinosaur. I don't know, but I can't stand injustice. I'm sorry, I can't stand it. I don't care if that injustice is being perpetrated on white folk, black folk, Asian folk, Latino folk. I don't care who it's being perpetrated on. I don't like injustice. Okay, I don't like it.
Okay. So
talking in the back. Who's talking in the back?
Well, earlier, G-Man, you kind of said something along the lines of like, oh crap! I'm sorry. Hold on.
You got YouTube running. That's the problem.
Sorry about that.
You gotta kill YouTube. Yeah, there you go. Always mute YouTube when you come.
Am I good now?
Yes, Lucas.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
Okay. You'd said earlier like how like white people get like a lot of hate because of the whole slavery thing, and how they should probably look to you like black people as to get educated on the slavery thing, to like, I guess to like avoid kind of like the hate or something like that, kind of.
No, I don't think I said it like that. I think what I was trying to say is that a lot of white people get hate regarding, you know, what happened in this country during the transatlantic slave trade, and a lot of them, and I talked about this before on this channel, a lot of people are attempting to talk about what happened during the transatlantic slave trade, and they're trying to be apologetic about it without really understanding the ins and out about the topic, because not everybody's really studied this. They only know what their parents told them. They haven't really looked into it. So they began talking about it, like Matt Dillahunty. I'm just clarifying some things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Matt Dillahunty will talk about, you know, slavery's wrong. Look at what happened during the transatlantic slave trade. And first of all, I agree that what we saw during the transatlantic slave trade was wrong, right? And then you hear them talking about this. However, when you begin to talk to one of us about this, the people that they're claiming that they're speaking up for, they don't even know how we feel, how we really feel about this topic. And when they're talking about this, they're making themselves sound like they're clout chasing instead of actually caring about the given topic. There are a lot of black people that is okay with indentured servitude. There's a lot of us that's okay with willfully becoming somebody's slave until we can pay our bills or get on our feet, and then, you know, we can go out there and take care of ourselves or whatever.
Yeah, I think you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a lot of black people that would agree to that personally, but I'm not speaking for black people, folks. Let's just do a little intermission here, because it does get hot again. I know it gets hot again. And I think they're going to be building up towards it here shortly. But I thought we'd take a break here. I have another public service announcement, folks. Somebody's back. And they got words for Schemo.
Schemo. It's Penguin. That's right. I'm short like you. But I'll tell you what. You want to meet me in Boston? I'll tell you what, tough guy. Any day of the week. Take you down. All right? Well, hey, been acting up on the YouTube, I see, huh? Getting a lot of strikes and stuff. Yeah, it happened to my buddy Gary Snowflake, too. Kind of coincidence? I think not. So, Schemo, you want to keep going? Better change your ways, buddy boy. Guard your stuff. Penguin's on the job now. Always watching. See everything. All right? Filthy house, your filthy husband. It's all out there. So, don't play with me, Schemo, because I ain't playing.
Yay, folks. That seemed a little... That was pretty ominous. That's serious business, folks, going on out there.
Folks.
Uh-oh.
We've got a problem.
Let's jump to this.
Hey, guys. I'm not going to get intimately involved with this, but I'm just currently watching GMAN stream that he's doing on this stuff that Vaughn said. First of all, here's the claim that he's saying that 90% of slave owners were, I don't know, a different race other than white. So, I don't quite know the claim. I think originally he was saying, I guess, that there was mostly blacks that owned slaves. Okay. That's laughable to anybody, because we know that's not the case. So, the reason I do videos like this is because when you're connected with somebody, which I am with Vaughn in ways, when you disagree, you have to say it. And you have to tell the individual that they're wrong. Okay? Yeah, Vaughn, you're just totally wrong, off base, all of that stuff. You're getting your information from racist websites, dude. Like mixedracestudies.org? Who runs that, Vaughn? Like David Duke? Who runs that? Eric John Phelps? Maybe? Yeah, I mean, dude, you're dealing in really bad stuff. And if you're don't call yourself a light worker if you're going to start supporting white supremacist ideology. I mean, that this is craziness that's spouted by people like that. So do yourself a favor and just be okay with history that white people were pretty bad to blacks at one point. But we're trying to fix that, right, Vaughn? Yeah, we are. We want to be good to our fellow man, and you would agree with that because you're a light worker, right? Yeah, you're a light worker. So don't spout white supremacist hate literature. It's really bad. Peace out.
Well, there you have it, folks. Even the REV individual felt compelled to come forward.
So you're wondering what my new policy is. Okay, well...
that's an old one. Anyways, so folks, I've heard the buzzword, white supremacy come up a few times. You see, that's not going to work with Von Helton. Because just to remind you, he doesn't believe there is any such thing as white supremacy. Let me share that with you right now, folks.
Von's coming back. I'm gonna tell him again because I'm waiting for him. Can you hear me, Von?
Oh. You know, a lot of white supremacists are actually embracing Nordic paganism.
Right. Well, these were all witchy kind of. There were more pagans in one. Maybe Wiccans, I don't know. But there were more pagans in one place at one time than I've ever seen at this fucking rally saying hex white supremacist and hex racism.
Curse racist. Yeah.
Well, with all due respect to my fellow pagans, they're kind of wasting their energy because there is no such thing as white supremacy, and there is no such thing. So they're kind of wasting their energy there.
We're gonna throw Vaughn in the fire right now. Let's get.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, wait a minute. Hold
on. I'm heating up the ovens as we speak. Okay, go ahead.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I just got through watching a video by a British comedian. I forget his name. That's how important he is, right? But I just got through watching a video by a British comedian who was talking about white privilege and white racism. And I'm like, white privilege? Are you sure? I mean, let's review. Yes. Let's review NAACP, Negro College Fund, Black History Month, Thurgood Marshall Fund, College Fund. There's Negro Women's Association. I mean, and I had a list of about 200 holidays and organizations.
But Vaughn, they say it's systemic. They say it's systemic. They say
it's systemic. Okay, yeah. Hey, can I get college for free? Can I?
Yes, you can if you go to the state of California. It's called the Promise Grant.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the Promise Grant. You get 2 years of free college.
Wow.
It's also called the Pell Grant if you don't make enough money. It's $6,000 a year.
Let me tell you something about the Pell Grant, because I got a Pell Grant and you still got to pay it back. They lied.
If you don't finish your fucking degree.
They lied. You pay it back.
Yeah, if you don't finish your degree.
If you don't, that's the whole plan. They don't let you finish your degree. They give you what they'll do is they'll give you a certificate, and that way you don't get it for free.
Places most states. I mean, I'm from New York. You can, if you really want to go to community college, you can pretty much get it for free.
Yeah, it's called.
I'm gonna help people out a ton. Okay.
Whether you're white or black, I mean, I don't
Promise Grant applies to everybody, and it just
here's the best way to handle it, folks. If you want to get around this, here's what you do: you go to trade school. That way, you ain't got no student loans.
That's what I did.
And the trade school will even help you get a job, a real good job, a good paying job.
After I finished high school, I went right to a trade school. I went for a 2-year trade school.
I was doing the trade school while I was in high school. I did 2 years worth.
I went to trade school. I went to trade school.
I doubled up on courses.
Yeah, buddy. Trade school. I had a bad experience at college. I went to trade school, got a job. Just that quick.
That's what we did too. Yeah.
Trade school all day long. Colleges can go fuck themselves because they're a joke.
You have to for certain jobs.
Yeah.
So what
should be a trade.
All right, so there's no such thing as white supremacy. Unfortunately, I think I have to find your spot in this again, but we will. Folks.
We'll be back after response to this nonsense.
I'm telling you, I'm at History Daily. All right, History Daily, which is an offshoot of History.com. And Eustachian's history, this is the headline. First Romans were black people. And I can do the same for the Greeks as well. The
only
Greeks
thing
were
I can
actually
say,
black as well.
only thing I can say is that when Hannibal went over the Italy, he was from Africa, and some of his army was from Africa, and he went over there and terrorized those cats. That's why you have Sicilians that are darker than G-Man.
Yeah,
Today.
Vaughn, the problem you have, Vaughn, is that you're listening to you, not me. You are listening to revisionists, and you are listening to people who are trying to rewrite history.
Yeah.
Not me. I am fully aware of the people of some of the groups out there that are trying to make black people white and white people black. I deal with them on my other channel. I understand it and I get that. But the information that you're bringing out today is fake news. That's not even real history, man, at all. It isn't.
That's what they're putting out there as the truth, though. That's what they're putting out. I don't agree. I don't agree with it. I agree. It's wrong. It's totally lies.
I could
But
pull
they're
up
putting
something
it out there as truth anyway.
I could pull up something right now on
from history.com.
On history from
history.com.
history. Yes, I could pull something up from history.com that will blow your mind. I said that Superman existed back in the Atlantean days. I'm dead serious. I don't see that. Yes, I don't see that.
I don't think you're going to get Superman from history.com, but you can
I'm
try.
just telling you, Vaughn, don't believe everything, especially history.com, because Vaughn, do you know that history.com has been diluted now?
Well, all of the okay, in 1982, which happened to be the year I graduated high school, by the way, there was this thing called the American Historical Society. And the American Historical Society is made up of Skull and Bones members, and unfortunately, they were tasked with rewriting our school books and American history and some world history, some, not all, but some world history as well. And they literally rewrote American history. And you know, this is unfortunate, and but it did happen. It did occur. I literally watched my school books in 1981 say one thing, and then my school books in 1982 say a completely different thing, because they literally rewrote our history. And I got to watch it happen live, man. I got to see my books from 81.
But still, if you're gonna talk about something that happened in history, it's good to go look it up to see whether or not the rest of history.
Well, the problem, G-Man, is that a lot of it has been destroyed by now. That's the problem.
You are old enough to know. You're old enough to know, Vaughn, if you graduated in 1982, what you was taught then versus what's being taught.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, to have sources that will back up the things that you're saying. You didn't study this. I can tell you.
You have to go
read some article.
Right, but G-Man, you have to go to a physical library. You have to go through the microfiche, the card catalog, what have you, to pull all this information. You're not going to find it on the internet, G-Man.
Not with everything.
The internet has been sanitized for your protection. You're not going to find it.
Listen to me. I'm aware of what you're talking about. I'm just saying you don't got to do that with everything. And when it comes to this topic of slavery, what you're talking about, black people, it's a majority. Anyway, Lubis, you say you had something that you want to say, Lubis. What's going on?
I kind of forgot what I wanted to, I mean,
you had it written down on the paper.
All right.
Well, all I know is that
I didn't realize we were so far back. I'll put it up here somewhere, because I know they get hot again. Things get hot again.
First slave owner, and he was a black man. That's why.
So,
and it's important because the prevailing thought out there is that no black.
I don't agree with Von Helton.
Not one.
Well, those people were wrong.
Prevailing thought.
Hold on, G-Man.
Sorry, but the prevailing thought is that they
did. Look at the private chat. I just put the laws, the space of the law for the tribal skies. The American Indian Law Review, protecting tribal skies, why Indian tribes possess the sovereignty authority to regulate tribal airspace. I just put that in for you. 2016.
You realize that that's the biggest load of horseshit I ever heard in my life. You realize that you wouldn't be able to fly in Montana at all because Montana is pretty much native reservation lands. There's a whole bunch of native reservation lands in Montana. You wouldn't be able to fly your aircraft in Montana at all. Okay, no,
the sky's pretty big.
The natives can claim whatever they want. It's like the natives claiming that Kennewick man was an ancient Indian.
Do me a favor.
Know for a fact he was a Caucasian man.
Lubis.
You know, the natives can claim all kinds of stuff. That doesn't make it true.
Lubis.
Yeah.
You put the link in the live chat.
I don't think I can. I tried doing that.
Brother, I'll do it. All right.
Sorry.
Oh, brother.
I'm just saying, Vaughn.
If you can
Vaughn,
teach
I'm
me.
just saying. I'm just saying there's a lot of laws out there saying different things. It may be horseshit, as you said, but there's a lot of laws saying different things. I don't believe 51% of slave owners was black, Vaughn. There's nothing you can tell me that.
And I don't think Vaughn believes that mess either.
Vaughn, you muted yourself.
Like I said, I'm going to be putting their names, their addresses, their states they lived in, and everything.
Because you got it in the
And you
PDF.
could go look them up. Then you could go look them up. And if they all end up being white folks, then you can come back later and chew me up one side down the other. But when you find out they're black folks, I'll never hear another word, and I sure as hell won't see a responsibility.
Vaughn, your own audience will eat you alive.
When they find out that these are black
community will eat
I
you
will
alive.
never hear another word about it.
Hold on a minute, Vaughn. Vaughn, hold on a minute.
All these people still
Everybody in the world is going to eat you alive on this because
they're
you
not.
are literally the only
No, they're not,
person
because I'm going
on
to
the
provide
planet.
names.
Vaughn, you are the only person on the entire planet.
I am going to provide names and dates and where they.
Vaughn, you're the only person on the planet Earth that believes these things, Vaughn Helton. You and the person who wrote that article, you are not going to find another human being that's willing to put their reputation on the line and risk ridicule by the entire planet for believing such things. 51% of the people in the South were black. When, like, honestly, dude, what America are you talking about at this particular point?
Vaughn, if that's true,
We're going to find out, aren't we?
If 51% of people own slaves that was black, Vaughn, goddamn. Damn, Vaughn.
Well, like I said, I'm going to put the names, the addresses, the dates, the states they lived in, and then when you look them up and you find out that they are indeed,
Vaughn, it better be
that they are indeed black folk, I won't hear another word.
Hold on a minute, Vaughn. Hold on a minute. So, Todd, you went to seminary, Vaughn. Do you agree with Vaughn Helton? Like 51% of the people that were black in the South that owned slaves?
51% of the population wasn't even black. How is that possible? Not even close. Maybe 1%.
Too many white people in here.
So, Vaughn, we got to find somebody to agree with you. Go find a pagan or somebody that agrees with you. You're not even going to find a pagan that's going to.
I'm not going to find anybody that agrees with me because, like I said, in 1982, the American Historical Society revised American history, and that's why y'all are sitting here arguing with me today.
Vaughn, I can't believe 51% of slave owners was black. I can't believe it, Vaughn. Vaughn, I'm not going to believe that.
About money. It's about money. It's about money. It's about money, gentlemen.
People didn't own plantations.
It's about money, gentlemen pioneer.
They didn't have money. That's
all right. One at a time.
There was a painting of George Washington. There was a painting of George Washington. And standing next to him was his supposed slave wearing a top hat and tails. You won't find that painting in Washington, D.C. no more. They took it down. You know why they took it down? Because it didn't fit the narrative. It didn't fit the narrative that Washington had slaves because the black man standing next to him was wearing a top hat and tails.
Hey, look, I'm a goalpost.
Good for you.
Carnivorous 8. I don't think that's a real Carnivorous 8.
No, it's him. It's Monkey Man. I can see him.
Carnivorous. Turn around, Carnivorous. Turn around. Look at the camera.
Hi.
Oh, okay, great. Because I was about to kick you.
Okay, he looks better.
Hey, Carnivorous, let's talk about reservations.
It actually does look.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to talk about reservations.
It's too much contrast, though. You need to adjust your contrast.
It's this idea that 51% of the South was black, and I'm sorry, 51% of the slave owners in the South were
slave owners, not South. The vast majority of the South was white, but the vast majority of the South was not slave owners.
No, it was only
the upper echelon
1.4%.
was slave owners.
Yeah.
Boom.
Not everybody owned plantations.
So out of that 1.4%, out of that, majority was black.
A good portion, yeah, absolutely. I got a PDF to that effect.
Okay, hold on.
I know you
got a PDF. Yeah, you got a PDF.
You can shake your head all you want. It's not going to change the fact. Like I said, when I post my video, you'll be able to go to a library with the names, and you'll be able to verify whether these people were black. And when you find out that they are black, I won't hear another word.
What will that prove?
You will never acknowledge that I was right.
How many people? How many people on your PDF, Vaughn?
He wasn't right, Vaughn.
How many people on your PDF, Vaughn? How many people, Vaughn?
Acknowledge that I was right.
How many names?
Vaughn, you wasn't right, Vaughn. You wasn't right.
No, let him back here so he can get it out of him. Get it out yourself, Vaughn.
When I do this video, and you find out that these people really were black folk and they really were slave owners,
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, not one person will make a video saying I was right. Not one.
I'm going to make a
Not
YouTube
one.
video destroying
I've
you if I
waited
see you do
20
it.
years for somebody to make a video
And
saying
I'm
I
going to
was
let
right
everybody
about
know
anything.
now.
Never
And I'm
happened.
cool with you, Vaughn,
In
and I'm
20
going to
years,
be the worst
no
person to
one
make
has
a
ever
video
made a
against
video
you.
admitting I was right about anything.
Because
It
you're
will
not.
never happen.
Because you never are. You're never right about
Yeah,
anything.
well, I'm never right. Okay.
Be
All right.
quiet,
Well,
Vaughn. That's
I'll
my
let
truth.
Kinda sounding like a
have the
racist,
rest of the
Vaughn.
evening
That's
because,
my truth,
it's
Vaughn.
12 midnight,
That's
and I
true.
don't need to be arguing with a bunch of fucking trolls. So
fucking
anyway,
trolls.
Suddenly
yeah,
we're
you
all
are
trolls
a troll,
again.
Todd.
Yeah.
Sorry, you are a troll.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
You're just an idiot, and you're
No,
making a bunch
you're
of claims you
fucking
can't
troll.
back up.
No, you're a fucking troll.
No.
Bye.
Okay, so let's stop that now. Let's get niceties and everything and whatnot. Vaughn, leave the LSD alone. Let's move on with the topic. All right. All right. So Vaughn, listen to me. If you make a YouTube video claiming that 51% of the South, the 51% of the slave owners in the South were black, I promise you, these atheists will be nice compared to what I'm gonna do. All right. Don't do it to yourself. Do not do it. All right. Don't do it.
Because people
if
need
you
to
put
know
Dylan Hunty on my side,
A little Vaughn montage. We'll see what we can do. We'll I make no promises. We'll see what we can do.
People need to know the truth. People need to know the truth, G-Man. And I'm sick and tired of the American Historical Society twisting history and making it seem like America is this evil empire.
Go ahead and make your video.
America was not an evil empire.
Vaughn, I care so much about that topic, I won't even do it on this channel. Go ahead and make the video. I'll do it on the other channel. Watch how many people, including the Hebrew Israelites, laugh at you. Okay? Just go ahead and do it. Okay, you go ahead and do it. Watch what happens.
G-Man, what part of you can go and check these names in a library and confirm that they are real? What part of that don't you understand?
Okay,
What part of that are you
logic. Hold on. G-Man, hold on.
Here's the point. The point is when you find out that I'm right, there will never be a
Go ahead and make
it
your
will
video.
never happen. There will
Vaughn,
never
go ahead and make your
be an
video.
apology video. And
Vaughn,
you're
hold
not
on,
right
Vaughn.
about a
Let
damn
me
thing.
ask you this.
It'll
So
never
because
happen.
the names
I've
on your
waited 20
PDF
years
may be
for
real,
anyone to make
that
a
makes you
video
slave
saying I was
owners?
right about anything. And it has never happened, ever. And it never will happen.
I don't know
because
you.
nobody will ever admit I was right about anything.
You
Ever.
never are.
It will never happen.
And Trump
But
is going to be
like I said,
president again.
These names are names in a PDF that has been researched.
How
where
many?
You can go to a library, a physical library.
many?
You go through the microfiche. You'll find their names.
How
you'll
many?
Find where they live.
And
you'll
their phone
find out
numbers.
when
You gotta
what
put
state
your
they
camera on.
live in, and
Phone
you'll be
numbers.
able to verify that who they are, who they are.
Vaughn Helton, what about this, Vaughn Helton? Here's a
How many?
concept. You know what, G-Man? I misspoke and I was wrong. And you want to know what? I'm going to learn from this mistake. How about that? Because there is no way on God's green earth you're going to produce one or two witnesses or anything like that to be. And I tell you what, Vaughn, I make a bet with you, Vaughn. If you're right, Vaughn, I'm bring you in here. If you're right, I've been dying to put you in this position. Look, if you're right, Vaughn, to see how confident you are. Put my camera on for this one because I want to.
G-Man, I want them to know this. Vaughn, just because those names on the PDF match up to real people doesn't make them slave owners.
Bingo.
I want to see those names go, this is a slave owner.
Okay, listen. Like I said, nothing I say will convince you.
yeah,
Even
go
when I
crying.
make the video, you still won't be convinced.
Okay,
Even though you
okay,
can go to the
Vaughn,
library and
Vaughn,
verify the
Vaughn,
information, it will
Vaughn.
not matter
Okay,
because
okay, Vaughn. So my bet is this, Vaughn. My bet is this, okay? You're a pagan and I'm a Christian, right? And I've been wanting to convert you for some time. I'm going to prove to you that you're wrong. I want you to make your YouTube video and I want you to state your facts that 51% of the slave owners during the transatlantic slave trade were black. If you do that, I will become an eclectic pagan.
Sounds like a
If
good deal.
you lose, Vaughn Helton, you are going to take that demonic thing around your neck, throw it halfway in the ocean on camera, and you're going to get a cross and you're going to put it around your neck, and you're going to get on here and tell everybody you're a Christian.
Hold on, Jimmy.
Right?
He lives in the middle of Kentucky. There's no ocean nearby.
Okay, so you got to drive
You gotta be
car
fair.
somewhere where there's an ocean, and you got to become a Christian. So here's the thing now. If you're so confident, take me up on this bet. Because if you lose,
G-Man, you better be building your altar, buddy. Be building you an altar right now.
Right, so
It's got to be made of unhewn stone. Listen to me. Listen to me. And when you make the altar, it has to be made of unhewn stone. You can make it as tall as you like or as short as you like. and you
What are we,
have
a
to
bunch of
use
blacksmiths here?
real wood bracing, not carved wood.
When I become
It
an
has to be
eclectic
uncarved
pagan,
wood.
when I
You
become
know,
an
kind of
eclectic
like,
pagan,
it has to be something like this. It hasn't been carved.
when I become an eclectic pagan, you can tell me all of that stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
But since I know you're about to become a Christian, you need to present proof, and you need to provide some witnesses in a video besides yourself that agree that 51% of the slave owners were black. I've already won. Get ready to bow your knee to Christ, dude. Just get ready to do it.
I just want to know how many names in the PDF. That's all I want to know. How many names?
Well,
I just want to know why Vaughn's making such a big deal out of this.
All I did was peruse the PDF, but it was a humongous list.
Humongous, 100,000,
massive. I don't.
Vaughn, you saw what I did to Bill
I don't. I didn't count them.
Vaughn
Well, then how do you know it's more than half?
So hold on a minute. So
You didn't count them.
Von Helton, you saw what I did to Matt Dillahunty, right? Because Matt Dillahunty, he knew what he was talking about, right? You said that 51. I want you to hear this now. 51% of the slave owners in the United States during the transatlantic slave trade were black.
Free blacks.
Okay, so remember that, Vaughn. I already know what I'm going to show you that you're wrong. All right. And nobody on the internet's going to disagree with me. I'll probably be the first video I'll make where I get 1 million likes and 0 dislikes. I'm just telling you, dude, you're going to get destroyed.
Listen, man, Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter, is a true story.
Like I
The
said,
movie Abraham Lincoln, the Vampire Hunter, is a true story too.
Like I said, when you
Abraham Lincoln had a rap battle with Chuck Norris.
When you research these names and you find out that I was right, there will not be any apology videos. There will not be any kind of discussion.
You don't even know how many you're talking about.
There will not be. I have waited 20 years. I have waited 20 years for anyone to admit that I was right about anything. And in 20 years, no one has ever made an apology.
Get ready to take that thing in your neck.
Now, there's apology videos out there, but when you watch the apology video, they just start laughing and then they cut the video off.
I'm sorry, not Vaughn.
So it's not real. It's not a real apology video. You know, they're just goofy.
Vaughn, Beckle is not a Democrat, and Beckle is going to laugh at you when he hears it. Do you think that Beckle's going to agree with you, or Jesus is Lord is going to agree with you, or any Republican on here is going to agree with you that 51% of the slave owners during the transatlantic slave trade was black? Are you smoking drugs, dude? Like, seriously?
Nobody is going to believe me. You're right. You know why?
Because you're wrong.
In 1982, the American Historical Society revised American history. So you're right. Nobody's going to believe. You're right.
Everybody's going to vote.
Nobody is going to believe because in 1982, the American Historical Society revised American history. So you're right. Nobody's going to believe.
G-Man, let me say this. Vaughn, I said something wrong.
No one will believe.
Vaughn, I would do apology because I said something wrong, and I just looked at it and stuff. They do. Native Americans do pay taxes. It's just certain things that don't pay taxes on.
We do.
It's certain things that don't pay taxes on. Vaughn.
Certain things I don't pay taxes on. What's your point?
Huh? So I apologize for saying they don't. Lubis, you was right. You see how the apology is? I'm not laughing at something. If you could prove that list, I will make an apology video. I want all of it. I don't want the first 50 people you clear it up.
Yeah, the first 50.
Yeah, I didn't know all that had to do was read a PDF.
It will never happen. It will never be a video by anyone admitting I was right about anything. I have been waiting 20 years.
Vaughn, you know why you're going to lose, Vaughn? Vaughn, you going to know why you lose, Vaughn? You're telling me that your entire belief system on 51% of the slave owners being black in the United States is based on a PDF. Like, do you not know what you're setting yourself up for?
A PDF that has names, dates, locations, info about who they were, where they hung out with, who they hung out with.
Phone numbers. Don't forget phone numbers. I said phone numbers, right?
Phone numbers.
Phone numbers. Yeah, in 1860.
Almost anything you can want.
When was the phone invented?
I'm not going to
You got phone numbers?
This is information that you can go
Hey, Vaughn. I don't got a PDF. I got a book, and it's actually I got this library of books. It's called the Bible, right? And it says that Baal was a false demonic god that sacrificed babies. One of the gods that you actually worship, that you say that the Bible got wrong. Now you're making an argument saying that this PDF has dates and claims. Just because it makes a claim This is where we start getting into apologetics, right? When you make a claim, you got to be able to prove that those claims are accurate and correct. Do you understand that? It has to add up to 51% of the slave owners in the South. I want you to think about that a minute now, because now you got to be able to explain the KKK. You got to be able to explain segregation and all the other stuff that happened after slavery. What you are saying right now is stupid. It's not true. Okay? And I'm telling you, you might as well get ready to buy into Christ right now, dude. You should have never took that bet.
No. It's not. It doesn't matter whether I take a bet or not. It doesn't matter whether I take a bet or not. What's going to happen is that you're gonna get these names, dates, and places.
I'm gonna get claimed.
You're gonna go to a library. You're gonna see that these people really were black slave owners, and then you're not, and that's gonna be the end of it. I'll never hear about it ever again. There'll be no apology video. There'll be no conciliatory action on my behalf at all. It will be totally washed and slipped under a rug somewhere, and that will be the end of it. That will be the end of it. Good old Todd over there is laughing because he knows I'm telling the damn truth.
I have a silly question to ask.
I have waited for somebody to admit that I was right about anything. No one has. That's why I do my own I was right videos. I was right videos because nobody has ever in 20 years admitted I was right about anything. Not one. Not one. Not one. It's never happened. That's why I do my own.
You're lying. Brett Keane did on numerous occasions.
Brett Keane did one video.
Brett Keane admitted that you were right. I admitted that you were right about the video. Stop lying, dude. Like, honestly,
where's the video?
You're making it super easy for me to destroy you. Stop it.
You guys have said stuff in live chat, but I mean, an actual I was right video. Where is it?
Gonna look.
There is no I was right video nowhere, except on my channel. My channel's the only one that's got I was right videos. That's it.
And they're all wrong.
Hey, there's an ease guy who says he can prove Ron is lying. I can get out.
Not a troll. You're wrong. I'm sorry,
Well, like I said, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter how much evidence I bring forward anyway. You're not going to believe it any damn way because you're in 1982, the American Historical Society revised American history and basically turned America from a republic into a place of garbage.
In the South, J-Dubs, was 51% of the black people that was in the deep
slave owners
in the South was 51% of black people slave owners in the in the South.
50% of slave owners were black, is his claim.
No, 50.
I don't have that data off the hands, but what I don't know what the statistics. So
I have a silly question.
Making this claim though.
Silly question. Vaughn said the people that owned slave were upper echelon, right?
Okay.
So the free blacks were upper echelon in the South. Is that true?
It was, as far as I know, there was a lot of black people that owned slaves in the South.
A lot.
They wore they wore top hats and tails.
The majority
wore top hats and tails, Malaco.
The majority of them.
There was a lot of Native Americans that owned blacks as slaves.
Keep pushing that goalpost, Vaughn. Keep pushing. You found one slave with a top hat, and now they're all affluent. You found one slave with a top hat in a picture, and so they're affluent.
Wear top hat and tails.
You found one picture of one slave in a top hat, and they're all affluent.
They all attended.
This is the point you're making, Vaughn.
And balls and stuff like that.
I found a slave with a top hat, so they must have money.
Oh God,
that's your point right now.
Yeah, that was.
And we're talking about how slave owners were free blacks.
In the entire history of America that had top hat and tails, Todd.
That's what you're claiming right now.
Hold on, I gotta say something.
Calm down, everybody.
Hold on a second. Can I ask a question?
In addition to being a YouTube troll.
Can I ask a question?
Calm down.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I thought we were all Africans. I thought we all evolved from Africa. So what does it matter?
No. Hold on.
It's just a human being owning another human being.
Trying to get you to give me a minute here.
You gotta listen to the stream earlier. Vaughn said that he blamed the white man for everything, so he separated the races.
It's true, he did.
He separated the races.
We did. I didn't know we were back on separating races. I thought we were back to integrating all the races.
Race. I guess
I don't keep up with current events, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
So Vaughn said we blamed, as he said, the white man get blamed for everything, and the white man is slowly being eradicated from history. Am I right or wrong, Vaughn? That's what you said.
Yeah. Now they're claiming that the Romans and the Greeks are black. So yeah, the white race
They?
literally.
Who's
that's a radical.
Yeah,
that's just a few radical black Hebrew
Yeah, I don't
Israelites.
claim
That's
that.
not all. That's not everyone. I mean, that's a few
That's
people.
beside the point. It's being floated as real. It's being floated as
Oh,
actual
no,
history.
Right, it's
People who
obviously
can't-
nonsense. I mean,
no
All right,
different.
Intego. The link is in the Intego. The link is in the on your phone. Go to your phone, Intego.
I guess if you
Aren't
believe
Greeks
everything
and
you
Romans
read,
more brown skin, kind of?
I can't really see who's underneath here because I can't for some reason.
Northern Mediterranean, no.
I don't consider Italians white myself, but you know, other people do, I guess.
Why don't you consider Italians white?
Because it's colloquially they were
They're
never
not.
considered white.
So Von Helton, Vaughn, I want you to understand something, Vaughn. Just because somebody walks up to you and make a claim, okay, that the Romans were black, doesn't mean they were black.
Yeah, you got to stop listening. You got to stop listening to the assholes on the internet. Vaughn. Oh, I'm sorry for cursing. I apologize. You got to stop listening to the people on the internet.
You're gullible,
Johan, when they make a claim, I got to call them on it. All right, I got to.
I mean, haven't you seen the pictures and the statues? They're all white. They weren't black.
Well, they show pictures of Hannibal Barker or whatever the guy's name is, and they say, "Well, look at him. He has curly hair and a fat nose." I mean, you know, the inference is that I guess he's African. I guess.
Because he come from Carthage, and Carthage was in what part of the world at that time?
Yeah, but the white man, quote unquote, colonized North Africa, so they were colonies of the Greeks and the Romans. So the native Africans didn't actually live those parts of the world.
But
that's actually, I mean, historically speaking, I don't know if we believe in historical revisionism or
no, historically wise, that's
reality.
right. I could pull up historical.
Well, let's pull up
things
my
that they
picture
bred.
here and
The
let's see
Greeks
which one of these.
and other
four black folk is
Alexander the Great colonized a lot of the world. A lot of North Africa and the Middle East was colonized.
Even the women are wearing nice outfits.
Check your phone, Intego.
Even the women in these pictures are wearing nice outfits.
Well, that proves it.
Not a one of them look.
No, that proves it, Lubus.
Not one of them look like they're enslaved. I mean, they look.
They're affluent people, upper echelon.
All right. Carnivorous Ape didn't get to say a lot yet. And Intego just came in. So I'm gonna let Carnivorous Ape go.
Yeah, he won't say
Carnivorous.
But I guess
guys, Carnivorous Ape is gonna go, and the Intego is gonna go. Go ahead, Carnivorous Ape. Carnivorous Ape, I can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Carnivorous Ape.
Sorry. I can put this to bed right now. I actually pulled up the PolitiFact that's showing the claim that was made was at the peak of slavery in 1860, only 1.4% of Americans owned slaves. What your history books don't tell you is that 3,000 blacks owned a total of 20,000 slaves in the same year.
That's quite a lot. I would consider that a lot.
Thank you. Now, where's my apology video? Oh, there ain't going to be one.
Oh, wait, 3,000 is more? Is most of them?
It was only 1%, Todd.
Hold on a minute, Vaughn. Hold on a minute.
He said 1%.
Shut up for a second, Vaughn. Let him finish.
Hold on a minute. Go ahead, Carnivorous Ape. Go ahead.
That's the claim. Okay. Now, the PolitiFact on that shows that the 1.4% is wrong. Okay. First of all, it was much closer to about 7.5%. Because there were considerably more slave owners than they were talking about, though, because by state, even like Mississippi owned damn near 50% of people were slave owners.
No, well, that sounds kind of high.
I only get my news from Twitter blue check people. So
now,
are you agreeing with Von Helton when he says that 51?
No,
okay, thank you. All right.
Because as soon as I get down here real quick, in reality, far more than 1.4% of families in slaveholding states, the most reasonable way to measure it, own slaves. The number is between 20 and 25%, and in some states, the rate was twice as high. As for black-owned slaves, they certainly existed, but they represented a tiny fraction of all slaves in the United States, and many were likely owned by their spouses or parents due to the prevailing laws of many slaveholding states.
That's the amount the Lord Jesus, Vaughn. Believe in your heart that God rose up from the dead. Take that thing around your neck right now, dude, to the nearest ocean, as we agreed, and throw that thing to the depths of the sea. All right?
Wrong,
you didn't even get a chance to make your video.
I'm not wrong, G-Man.
No,
besides, PolitiFact is a leftist.
Man, you know how I feel about
PolitiFact is a leftist rag anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you prefer Snopes? Would you prefer, give me a fact checking site?
Factcheck.org is also leftist.
I only want to go back
Okay.
to my blue check mark.
You're wrong. Are leftist.
No,
I only
if
go
they
by
disagree
blue
with
Amnon.
Ron,
I only go by blue Amnon. Blue,
Oh, okay,
blue
I
check
see.
mark
So-
Twitters.
All
So
right,
every-
all right. So Indigo is going to go next. Nobody interrupt. Okay,
Go ahead.
What's in your mind?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
You're coming in clear.
Can you hear me? Is there any breaking up or anything? I hear like
No, we good. We good.
good. Okay. What I wanted to say to not only speaking to Vaughn but speaking to everyone else is that the people that I will say this, that there are different tribes of people that's from Africa, especially West Africa, North Africa. Of my family that owns the plantation in South Carolina, they are Northwest African. They are dark-skinned people, but they're not the same type of people that they were enslaving. For example, they look like people that you see in Ethiopia.
Very good.
So they were dark-skinned, but they had straight hair. They're not from the same tribe, they're different tribes. Now that was very early. That was very early in the history in the colonial period. Now, as far as and when they came here to the U.S., some of them did intermix with other ethnicities, other groups of people, like Caucasian people, for example, but mostly Native American people. And that's how you get a person like me. You see me today. My mom was dark skinned, and if I would next time, I think if we have a discussion about this, I'll show you a picture of my mom. I had the same hair texture as my mother, but she had dark hair, but it was more fine versus what you would see in other Black people, other Black women. It's a long history of it actually shows where they come from, North Africa. They look different. So they're pretty much enslaving people that's from different tribes. You see that in the Caribbean. I think that right now, tonight, we probably won't be able to get down to the details of all this because it will take a couple of hours. But I will say this, Vaughn is right about some things and he is wrong about some things.
What is he right
G-Man
about?
is
what is he right about?
Wrong.
What is he right about?
Well, as far as what we today would consider Black people, people look at people from Egypt, for example, today as being Black people. They're not the same group of Black people that you see in the North Atlantic slave trade. And I'll just be straight up. They're not the same.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
The argument is
What she's saying is you lump everyone together as being Black and not actually Black. You lump everyone being together as white and they're not actually white. You just lump people together. It makes it easier.
We're talking about a totally different topic. Nobody said out their mouth they don't believe that Black people own slaves. Nobody said that. So
Yeah,
both of y'all
actually,
wrong.
you did.
The narrative should be people own people.
Don't yell at me.
Own slaves.
Okay, you don't have to yell at me. I came in. I didn't watch. I'm sorry, gentleman pioneer. I came here late. I actually just came in like the last 20 minutes, so I didn't.
Yeah.
He gave us a real heartfelt thing about our family.
What the topic was, and I told G-Man from as far as in his historic, because my family actually owned. They're part of the history of South Carolina, North Carolina. They're a part of that, so that's why I can get input on that because my family has a historic.
What are you saying?
They were Black plantation owners. They owned other Black people.
We're Black plantation. Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is they did not look like the regular. Like they didn't look like G-Man. They were lighter than him.
No, we don't care about that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Indigo.
The discussion.
When you look at
was not slavery.
But when you look at the one drop rule, the way that they're going to document it is that they're being Black. Is what I'm trying to say. So it's very
Indigo.
vague. It can be very vague. So
Indigo.
Okay,
what
but the reality of the
thing that
matter is, though, but the reality of the matter is that you can't say that free Africans came to America, okay, and lived in the South of all places, and that 51% of people who owned slaves in the South owned slaves, and only 49% of whites owned slaves. That is the argument that
Indigo.
I think what he's trying to say is that some of them could be mixed, but some of them could have passed as white and some of them could have passed as black.
That's not what Vaughn was saying.
Okay, well that's where I disagree with Vaughn on.
Indigo.
Is that, you know, it depends on how you came out.
Indigo.
When you were born, like you can pass as white or you can look like you're black. Because the dad has happened.
Hold on a minute. Let me get this straight here. So I got at least two people, well, 1.5 people, because she doesn't fully agree with you, Vaughn Helton, okay? But I got 1.5 people. That's how I'm gonna treat you like Indigo, that you're half, and Vaughn is a full one, okay? that you got 1.5 people in here that believe that 51% of the slave owners in the South that was slave owners were black, and that only 49% of white people were slave owners in the South.
That's not the argument.
Indigo, the reason they're mad. Indigo.
If I had a daughter right now by a white man, my daughter can pass as white.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Hold on a minute. You're arguing.
If somebody,
hold on a minute, Indigo. You're arguing genetics. I get and I understand that. Okay, that is not the argument. Okay, so
it is if you're trying to claim they're black.
Men came over here from Europe, I'm assuming. Okay, so since this is Vaughn's argument and kind of yours a little bit, where did these black people come from, Vaughn?
Obviously, they're not from the United States because the United States doesn't exist. They come from overseas.
Okay, so they wasn't already on the land, right? No. Where did they come from?
I don't know. Don't care.
Okay, well,
they were enslaved.
Fine.
They were G-Man. My argument. You're changing my argument. Let me just restate my argument. These were people who were slaves.
You heard your argument, dude. This is for like the last hour and a half. You are saying that you got this PDF. This is what I'm talking about. Hold on a minute. You got this PDF that is your information source.
Yes.
Right? And you are telling me that 51% of the black slave owners, the slave owners in America were black. You're saying that the free ones that were the first slave owners, right? Now you got a PDF that says this. Where did the black people come from? You don't know. You didn't research this. Where did they come from? Where they come from? Europe? Did they come
They
from
would have
Africa?
had to have come from either Africa or Europe, G-Man, but it doesn't matter. They come over here as indentured servants.
It does matter, Vaughn. It does matter.
No,
Especially if Indigo uses her genetic argument. Where did they come from?
G-Man, oh my God, you're grabbing at straws here. That was never part of the problem. What I stated, let me state it again for the record. These were slaves or indentured servants who became free black men who in turn turned around and owned slaves in the South in America. And I have a PDF of all of their names, where they lived, what state they was in, etc., etc. All their information.
Mississippi. Who had the most slaves in the Mississippi? Blacks or whites?
I don't know.
In Atlanta.
Hold on.
In Atlanta, who had the most slaves? Blacks or whites?
Overwhelmingly white.
In North Carolina and South Carolina, which state had more slave owners? Blacks or whites?
I don't know.
Overwhelmingly white.
You got a lot of I don't know as opposed to knowing this. If you're saying that,
well, let me go through the PDF and make my video, and then you can critique.
Notice this.
You
keep talking about the PDF. Hold on a minute. Because this is what I'm going to sound like these atheists now. Hold on a minute. You keep talking to me like about this PDF like it's a historical document, or like it's something that obviously somebody put the PDF together. You don't know who the person is. You don't know their background. Somebody mentioned that they was a white supremacist. My thing is this.
What I know is that when the information is given to you and you verify it in a library that it's true,
you never verified it in the library. That's my point. You
can't go to a library and verify something.
Look, a slave owner.
That doesn't surprise me.
Go ahead. Let's hear.
Like I said, nobody wants to hear the truth, and that's fine. I don't care.
But you know, the funny thing is that when an alternative to what the American Historical Society puts out as truth comes to light, then obviously it's dismissed because we're going to believe a bunch of Skull and Bones members than a PDF put out by an alternative
Oh my
source.
God! Now
that
it
makes
makes sense.
that
Now.
makes it.
I get it now. Hold on a minute. I get it now.
I'm
The
pointing
flat
the other way.
earthers
I'll
don't
point
trust
the other way.
scientists.
Okay.
The flat earthers don't
John's
trust
trying to say something. John's trying to say something. He had
Hold
his
on.
hand up for a while.
I'll get to that in a minute. The flat earthers say that science is wrong because they believe in evolution. So we're going to discount all science because people want to believe the earth is flat, right? And because they're wrong about evolution, and because the Skull and Bones are controlling history, we're just going to discard history and just believe your precious PDF that nobody agrees with but Von Helton.
That has phone numbers.
Like I said, all we need is phone numbers. Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead,
phone numbers from 1850.
There you go. Let's get the phone numbers for these people back.
Just remember what I said. You got to do with that star. Go ahead, John.
Phone numbers.
Yeah.
You can't be this dumb.
No, Todd, you're a troll. Okay, you're
Go ahead,
you are.
Yeah, J-Dubs.
Phone numbers.
I want to know if anyone actually has like a source where they categorize who was a slave and who was a slave owner. Is there like a source, like any sort of Wikipedia page where they have like every person ever a slave and their slave master?
John, they don't even believe that the Constitution was written to abolish slavery. Ask them. They don't even believe that.
It does such a good job. They needed an amendment.
Well, Vaughn, I'm not. I know they have neurosis, but does anyone have any sort of Wikipedia page or any sort of
no?
The prevailing thought is that white
wait,
men
hold
are
on. Let
the
me finish. So we have no source of who was a slave and who was a slave owner. But we can't even quantify it. We can't even quantify this, and we're arguing. Hold on. Can I finish?
Yeah.
So we're arguing over something that we can't even verify, and something we can't even quantify.
Oh,
we can't even fucking realize who's a slave. So why are we arguing then?
Because anything we present,
he says Von Helton came in here with this nonsense stating
because white man bad.
I understand white man's bad. I live in the 21st century. I get it. But do we have a Wikipedia page with information of who's a slave and who's not? And
there are
who's
plenty.
a slave?
No, we don't. We have a PDF. Get this.
No, I'm not saying Von's side. I'm saying your guys' side.
Yes.
I'm asking you guys. I'm asking Todd and Ape and everyone else.
Plenty of sources showing the demographics. He just gave one. Yeah.
Oh, so
I just put it in the private chat. I just put it in the private chat.
It's
Okay.
PolitiFactCheck.org and Snopes, all of which are leftist rags. Okay.
You know. Okay. Thank you. Now, go to PolitiFact. Go to the bottom of the page. It gives you every single source to use.
Oh, I get you. You got
you sound like Matt Dillahunty now. And listen, I've endured the King. I've endured the Wand. I endured all that other stuff. I endured the 400 years. I endured the Forrest Gump stories and all that. This I am not enduring.
Hold on for a second, G-Man. Can I ask Vaughn a question?
G-Man.
Let me ask Vaughn a question. I've been real quiet. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Vaughn. Vaughn, wouldn't it be better for you to say that you have a list of slave owners instead of saying, it's 51% of black people or Africans in the South are slave owners? Wouldn't that be better just if you have a list?
Gentleman pioneer. It doesn't matter if
slaves today in Africa.
Vaughn, it does matter. That's why.
Matters a lot.
You said most. It don't matter because no matter how many names I put out there, they'll dismiss
the
it.
demographics.
Von Helden is a liar. That has always been the prevailing thought: is that Von Helden is a liar. He's some kind of weirdo or a dumbass. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Well, you're kind of coming off as that.
That's not what I'm saying.
20
I got
years,
a good
not
example.
One apology video.
I have
20 years.
Listen, I got a good example of this. Look at Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou ancestors, her grandmother and great grandmother were telling her for years that she was Native American. She did genetics tests, come to find out that she is not Native American. She was half white. What they did was some people who were half white passed as Native American. Look at me. I could be Hispanic. I can pass as being Spanish. When I go to the Spanish grocery store, people talk to me in Spanish. They think I'm Dominican or whatever. Right. There's people that done that. So you can't say 100. You can't say 100% that was written down on those documents, Vaughn, is the truth.
Alza la bandera.
Like I said, they were indentured servants,
Dominicana.
free, and then owned slaves. But they weren't white. They were not white folk.
Okay,
Most
Vaughn,
of the time, back
Vaughn,
in those days, they would try to pass.
Vaughn,
So they would try to
let's
pass
clear the
as if
record right
somebody
now,
found
Vaughn.
out that they're not trying to
Because
pass
hold
or
on.
whatever. They'll be like,
I've
oh,
been
they're
going against you
mixed.
on this topic. So let's clear the record since I've been
It
going
doesn't
against
matter
you. Okay?
what the percentage is.
Vaughn,
though.
Vaughn, I'm
I mean,
gonna
it
clear
could
the
be
record since I've
5%,
been going against you.
and
You
there will
said
not
most.
be any. Nobody will believe a word I
Vaughn,
say.
Vaughn, I'm
Okay,
gonna clear the
that's
record
just the way
since
it
most
is.
going against
It's
you.
been this way for 20 years. No matter what kind of information I put out, I've waited 20 years for a fucking apology from anyone
Vaughn, you
about any
personalizing
topic,
it now.
and
You
I've never got.
personalizing it
And I
for
never.
20.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
It'll never happen. It'll never
Vaughn,
happen.
Your claim was most.
Vaughn, you are right
Most.
that they are slave owners down there. You are 100% right.
Yeah, some
That
of them were
they are
people of
there
color.
was Africans that own slaves.
Yes,
I'm
there
nobody
were.
disagreeing with you on that. If your list is saying there are Africans that own slaves, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. The only thing I'm disagreeing with you with, Vaughn, is the majority of
Most.
slave owners in the South was not Africans.
Give this man a prize.
Yep.
That's
That's
what
the
we
only
all
thing I'm
disagree with,
disagreeing
Vaughn.
with you, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Everything
I'm
else you're
not
saying.
disagreeing
Vaughn's
with you
laughing.
with slaves.
Vaughn's not here. Vaughn's not here. And I'm just going to say this. I'm not as, I think Gentleman Pioneer is a lot nicer than me. That's why he keeps it classy. Von Helton, leave the crack alone. Anyway, go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
No, you can
Pioneers,
talk
hold
about
on.
you can talk about the Cherokee having slaves. Well, that a lot of Native Americans had
Irrelevant.
slaves against each other. If that's what I'm trying to say is if that's what he's trying to include into that group.
No.
And I think that's what Vaughn is
Free-
probably missing.
He said free blacks. Most were free blacks.
Free blacks, but
That's
you
his
also had
claim.
Cherokee.
Cherokee weren't passing
that's
for
what-
black in the South.
No, that was literally his claim. Was
No,
that
so
they
he was
wanted to
saying-
gas as black in the South.
He was saying that they were all black.
He said
He
most
said- yeah, he said
slave
most.
owners were free blacks.
Rewind this
Most.
whole stream, and you will hear what he said. Please,
I'm sorry,
you know,
Vaughn.
people
That's
come in-
bullshit.
Thank you.
I told him that, man.
Rewind it back.
I might come back to Christianity.
That's
just
what.
for that.
That was my whole thing. Like even.
Anyways, and they go on to pwn her. Folks, thank you for joining me tonight. Now listen, as promised, I guess we have some people watching in Discord that maybe are not as familiar with Von Helton. Now, I can't go in and digress into a whole history of Von Helton here, folks. But we can have a couple little tastes that I played actually last live stream. Let's start with this one. This is one of my favorites. Like I said, we just played these last live stream, but they're fun.
Jeez. I will hopefully be getting them very, very soon. They've got bloodlust more than any vampire I've ever known, including myself. Teeth. Wonderful teeth.
I will never be raped by a bunch of flaming homosexuals that you rape me and then put it on YouTube. Oh, and do me a favor, try to rape me in the ass. You and your flaming homosexual buddies brutally rape me, and then film that altercation.
Pedophilia, huh? Well, let's see. Assholes. The reasons why I got involved in the New World Order and fighting against the New World Order and going after the gangs and going after all these creeps and cretins that are out on the streets. You know, that it woke me up. You know, it woke me up. It took the scales off my eyes, took the blinders off my eyes, and I seen reality for what it really was. And of course that led me to become the Punisher. And that's why I took an oath to defend the weak, the innocent, and the downtrodden. And I still believe in that oath. I haven't changed. And I ain't gonna change. But, you know, that
that changed it changed me. You know, I had an epiphany, you might say, and a mantle was placed on me to defend the weak and the innocent and the downtrodden, no matter what the cost, including my life if necessary. I don't think I'm anything, Lorenzo. I know. Who placed that mantle on me? I don't know. You want to say it's God? Go ahead. You want to say it's something I dreamed up? Knock your fucking self out. But I know what I know what I experienced. And you can't take it away from me. Okay? So your little snide comments down in text ain't going to change shit. Alright? It's not going to change a damn thing. What did I do to help? Well, let's see. I busted up a pimp. I busted up his operation. I busted up an MS-13 operation. I stopped the Russian mafia. I went after the Italian mob on 2 occasions. And there was some other things that I cannot discuss. But yeah, I really was, for all intents and purposes, a living, breathing version of the Punisher. And that's why today I use the skull. I wore the skull. I still have the skull over there, if need be. I may come out of semi-retirement. There may some sort of evil arise, and I may put the shit back on again and go out and do what I do best. But we'll see. But as for now, I'm under semi-retirement. I'm relaxing. I'm away from the big city life, and, you know, I'm chilling out for the moment. But the death of my children, the destruction of my marriage, I found out later was all orchestrated. And when I found out that it was all orchestrated, and I found out why it was orchestrated, that's what really, really changed me. And that's why I became the Punisher. You know, but if you don't want to believe it, I don't give a shit. You know, there are thousands of people all across America that can vouch for the fact that I really was the Punisher, and that I really did help the innocent, and that I really did save people's lives. So all of your bullshit talk don't matter to me. Okay, it just don't. And like I said, if the need arises again, and I'm needed again, for whatever reason, then I'll just put the shit back on and go out in the streets and do what I do best.
Got my kids taken away. Got my kids taken away. Secular opinion, shut your fucking mouth, you fat fuck. You don't live very far away from me. So I'd be keeping my mouth shut if I was you. You ain't across the pond. You're in my neck of the woods. You don't think I know about the pasta-eating boys up there by Niagara Falls? What if the pasta-eating boys owe me a favor, secular opinion? What if they owe me a favor for not doing a hit on their ass? And so to pay me back, they come and knock on your door. Do you know who I mean by the pasta-eating boys? Do you get what I'm saying to you? Do you? Do you understand secular opinion? Oh, Vaughn, I didn't get your kids taken away, you liar. You liar. You fucked your eyeballs in this shit, just like all these other fuckwads. So don't say that shit. Don't say that shit. You know, maybe I ought to talk to some of the guys up there in an Italian restaurant up there at Niagara Falls. Is that what I need to do, secular opinion? Go up to Niagara Falls and go to a certain Italian restaurant and order me a stromboli and sit down and have a talk with some people? Is that what I need to do? Huh? Huh? Talk to me, you prick! Got my kids taken away. Got my kids taken away.
Vaughn, I could let you in, but you have to promise not to start screaming.
Oh, God. All right. Well, here we go. You ready for this, Tiffany? We're going to get yelled and screamed at.
Don't start
I'm
screaming.
not ready for the house, though.
All right? I'm going to let him in. Okay, I believe he's in. Are you in?
I am in.
All right. No screaming, none of that.
No, there ain't going to be no screaming. Ain't gonna be no screaming. I'm just recording this for posterity because Baby Jane said just the other fucking day, "Oh, I don't talk to Tiffany Moser."
I didn't say that. I never said that. I said Tiffany Moser, and I did not speak to Marsha Frost.
I got it saved to
That's
disc.
what I said.
I got it saved.
Tiffany Moser's my really good friend, Vaughn.
I got it saved to disc.
Oh,
where you
okay,
said you did
Vaughn.
not talk.
We've never
I got
talked
it
to Marsha
saved
Frost.
disc.
I don't care. Just
okay, you're going to just fucking
you're
talk, and I'm
pathetic
not going to get a word in
idiot.
edgewise.
You're
Is that how we're going to do this?
idiot.
Hold on a second.
Is that how we're going to do this? I can't get a word in edgewise.
You can't get a word in. We came in here for a
You're
sole
gonna
purpose
sit
to
there
get
and keep
starting
talking,
shit. That's
and
all
I
you
can't
ever
get a
do,
word in
Vaughn.
edgewise.
You're
That's what
pathetic, loony old
Age
man.
19, you
Vaughn.
accuse me of yelling. She's the one that won't shut the fuck
Vaughn.
up. She won't
Vaughn,
shut
can
the
I
fuck
ask-
up.
Can I ask you
Let's
something?
try this again. I've got you, Baby Jane, on record
Oh,
saying that
okay.
you
Well,
don't
I'm glad
talk
you
to
got
Marsha
me, you
Frost,
fucking weird
you don't
pervert.
talk to Tiffany
Go
Moser.
chat up some
You had
lady
nothing
boys
to
from
do
Vietnam.
with CPS taking my
fucking
kids.
freak.
You had nothing to do with that shit. I've got you on record saying that shit, and now here we
Vaughn.
are with Tiffany Moser
Never
and
said
you
that.
in the same goddamn room. So quit your fucking
Vaughn.
lying, Baby Jane.
Vaughn.
Quit your fucking lying.
Can I ask
Now,
you
as
something,
for
Vaughn?
Chang,
Okay, man boobs, help
now,
me.
as
Can I
for
ask you
Chang,
something? Can I ask Vaughn? Can I
now,
ask you
as for
something?
Chang,
Can I
now,
ask you
as for
something?
Chang,
Can I
now,
ask
as
you
for
something?
Chang, now, as for Chang, I have something to say about that too.
Jesus.
Because I happen to know that Chang did not fucking commit suicide. or
Chang's
was
in the
murdered
Social
or any
Security
of that
death
other
index. You're full of shit. You don't even know
I
what you're
happen to
fucking
know
talking
for a
about.
fact
You don't even know where
that
you
Chang
shit
was
last,
not dead.
motherfucker.
Holy
Fucking loony.
Hey, Agent 19,
Vaughn.
you gonna let
Vaughn.
me talk or not? You
Hold
gonna
on.
let me
You've
talk
been
or not?
talking. I want to ask you something.
You gonna let me talk or not?
I
Now,
really need
as
to
for
ask you
Chang,
something.
As for Chang, I happen to know for a fact the fucker did not commit suicide or was killed
Oh,
or any of
God.
that bullshit because he sent me months later after he was supposedly dead. He sent me a
Right.
fucking video personally cussing me out by name under a new handle by the name of Volsnet. Okay, so I know
Vaughn.
the motherfucker.
Oh
did
my
not commit
God, you are
suicide
so
or was
stupid.
murdered.
No, he's
Because
dead.
I've
He's
got
been
that
dead for
video
9 years.
saved to disc.
You fucking conspirator. He's
video
been dead
saved
for
to
9
disc.
years.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up,
Wow.
Vaughn. Shut up.
Vaughn,
Well,
I have,
shut
Vaughn, I
up
have a
yourself, Baby Jane. I'm
Okay.
here, the one talking truth here.
You're not
Vaughn,
talking to
so,
You're talking to
Vaughn, I'm
sent me
curious.
a
talking
video
shit.
personally cussing me out, saying, you know, I'm a piece of shit and all the usual bullshit.
Yeah.
He was
Okay,
under the
you're the
name
world's
of
biggest
Volsnet.
victim.
I'm gonna
You're
get
the
this
world's
out, Baby
biggest
Jane, whether you
victim.
like it or not, bitch. I'll go make a fucking video and get it out
Okay,
anyway.
well, you go ahead.
Just keep your
Have
talking.
the Clay
keep
County Police
talking.
Department
It
pick
ain't
me
gonna
up,
help you,
motherfucker.
bitch.
I've
'Cause
been
I'm
waiting
gonna
for
make
fucking
the
10
video
years
and get it
now.
out anyway.
Been waiting for
People's
10
gonna
years
know the
now.
truth.
Okay, hold on.
People's
Okay,
gonna know the fucking
pervert.
truth, bitch. You're going to jail,
Okay.
shit. If I got anything to say about it, your ass is
Guys.
going
Go
to
take a
jail.
shower, you stinky old man.
You shut the
Oh my
fuck up,
God,
bitch.
God. This place is going to shit.
Why
Woo.
don't you take her down off the dock so that I can speak? How about that? How about we try
Vaughn,
that?
am I responsible for you locking your children in their rooms and not giving them food and them writing
Tiffany
"Daddy,
Moser.
feed me" on the
Tiffany
walls
Moser.
and there being
Tiffany
feces
Moser.
on their
You are a
beds and
documented
rotten
child
melons on the
molester.
floor?
You are a
Don't
Am I
documented
responsible
child
for that,
molester,
Vaughn?
along with your buddy Baby Jane up there, whose real name is Mrs. Anonymous.
Yeah, my name is
Dick.
Katie Childers. My name is Katie Childers. Have me
And you
arrested.
Vaughn,
My name is
Vaughn,
Katie Childers.
there's
Come
nothing,
get
there's,
me.
accusing me of being a fucking pedophile. I ought to have a woman come down there and kick your ass just for that shit, bitch.
Oh, I'm
You
so
need your fucking
scared.
ass
Have them
kicked for
come,
that.
Vaughn.
You
Have
need
them
your
knock on my
Vaughn,
door.
the children's school
Holy
is called
shit.
CPS on Vaughn. The children's school called CPS on him. Those photos that were of their rooms were horrific. He's delusional,
This is why
mentally ill, and it's a shame that he can't figure this out for the sake of his kids. Makes me
this is
sick.
like, well, this is part of the reason why I don't run StreamYard, because this shit.
I'm sorry. He came in hot.
Well, I mean, well, he said he was here to record it. So, I mean, he wants to record it, then just record it.
Folks, I think this is a good spot to end it for tonight. Tonight, we could go on and on and on, but there will be more lulls to be had, I'm sure, this week. I mean, I got enough on the cutting room floor to fill up another Weirdo Wonderland, so we'll be touching base on that keep your eyes and ears open. As far as I know, it'll be this Thursday, 11 p.m., the same regular time. Same bat channel, folks. Thank you for joining me. If you're interested, you can always join us over on MeWe, Trolls, Haters, and Naysayers. That's where shit goes down. And you can join us over on Discord. I might go over and bang around and see who's around right now, or in about 5 minutes or so. But I think that's where we're going to leave it. So, yeah. Until next time, unless something great, you never know, folks. You got to go with the winds of fail. You don't know what these people are going to do. Anything could happen between now and then, but definitely by then we will see each other. Until then, have a good day and a better tomorrow, folks.